safeguarding assessment can be carried out with parents there.
Mommy Star.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, ma. You made mention of a statement that parents should not just say, okay, all right, to every request, especially when the social services say they want to speak with the children. But Nigeria will be great. Say something that I've said this countless times. It's not easy. It's not always okay to decline social workers' access to the kids.
Save the woman before you finish that statement. The reason why people feel they need to say yes is because it's termed social service. So that is fear in itself.
God bless you. It's like you're speaking to the police. You want to say yes to everything.
Yes.
No, you don't have to.
It's not.
You don't
have to. You don't have to insult them. You don't have to be harsh with them. But you can very quietly decline. They don't have to be in your life.
Nigeria will be great. We said something last time, if you can remember, about child in need. And we said, if parents said, this is require a consent, it's not a mandatory support, can parent decline? And you said that might give manager.
Child in need is not mandatory. You can opt out of child in need at any time.
But some social worker says it will give them a sleepless night, and even their manager might not accept that. So because of that,
so they will only moan and say, oh, we wish, obviously in assessment, when they decline child in need, I'll probably put, I wish your parents engage with me, I would have been able to do this and that. But it doesn't mean you have to do it. Child in need, you can decline it.
At any time.
At any time. As soon as the assessment is completed, and then as soon as the assessment is completed, and then your analysis says, okay, I will be recommending this and that child in need, parents can decline. I've worked with a lot of parents.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Take a mic.
Save the woman. First of all, I need to commend you.
Thank you, sir.
Family. Ask you a question, man. So, are you
busy? Sorry, me.
It's also a professional.
I'm a social worker. That's just what I want to know.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to answer that, but you can ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Okay, no problem. So, you're free to go down, man. No problem. So, Daddy, I don't know if you're a Yoruba man, though, because God bless you so much. God will bless you. Everything that has been good in your life, but because I really love what you are doing. It's not everybody that have the courage to do it for our community. So, I saw your invite. It is your right to refuse social worker from speaking to your children, but it is not advisable. Number one, the social worker does not need your consent of the mother if that child is 18 years old. The social worker did not need your consent to speak with.
Nigeria would be great, but that is 18-year-olds.
Can I balance?
That's an 18-year-old already. So you don't need, unless that child is vulnerable.
Okay.
Unless that child falls in the category of disabled children, that's when they still need your consent till she's 21.
We are talking about 30-year-old child. 30-year-old child.
So, yeah, just allow me to land. I'll be coming down very soon too. Then for a child of either 0 from day 1 to before 16, we need your consent as a mother, as a parent, or as a father to be able to speak with your kids, which is legal, but it is not advisable. Because at the end of the day, the social worker will get back, and when he's preparing his report, I can tell you 9 times out of 10 times, it is okay when you have your advocate. Good. If you let the social worker know that, oh, sorry, these are my fears. I like to have my advocate here tomorrow on this case, either with the kids, it's okay. No problem. But when you just decline it straightforward like that with the straight face, it's easy for every social worker to end that case by escalating it straight off, and the case is no more in his neck. When you are talking about child in needs too, you can opt out at any time, which is really okay. It is very, very easy for any social worker to, children's social worker. You know, the case is leaving your neck as a social worker. Instantly the following day, you refer it to child protection. The case is no more in your neck. I tried to do this for this case. The mother has exercised his legal right, and you refer it to child protection. Straightforward. And child protection is worse than CIA. So
Nigeria will be great. So what's the essence of you forwarding it to child protection?
Just to wait.
No, hold on. For people to understand, because you're creating more fear in people than giving people. You're creating fear than giving people confidence.
It's not fear. It's not.
It is fear.
No, this is the legal thing to do. That's nothing to do with fear. Every case has to be closed legally. You see, every social worker needs to wash his hand at the end of the day. That in this case, because those cases, 10 years, they can go and call the social worker back. Like, what do you do on this kid? So it's just like, as a carer, at the end of the day, you are safeguarding yourself. You are writing that, oh, at 10 o'clock, I check on this resident, he's breathing, he's fine. And you check out at 10 o'clock, then you are free of that case. So if the resident now came unalive.
I'm really sorry, I had to come back up. Nigeria would be great. Are you saying if a parent declines to have a
they escalate it to say to child protection,
no concern at all, you are going to escalate to CP?
Okay. Now listen. You said no concern at all.
If there is no new concern,
okay.
After you've done your assessment and then your recommendation is a SIM plan, and the parents have said, I don't want any support, or you are even able to step it down to the lowest of the lowest support without any SIM plan. Because where me I work, we have a team called Building the Bridges. It doesn't go with any plan. You can step it down to that. It's just very minimum engagement. So if the parents have told me, no, I don't want to engage with you, I don't want any support, I'm fine, we are fine. Since there's no safeguarding, and you're just going to raise it up to CT, your practice, I'm sorry. I'm worried for people who walk around your local, who live around your local authority. That's what you're going to be doing. If there is no new concern, there's no safeguarding concern, nothing at all. So because I'm not engaging with Simpla, you're just going to raise me up to CP. Please, when we are practicing, this is not the way we were trained. No, there's no safeguarding concern at all. You've done your assessment and you've recommended a SIM plan and no safeguarding concern. You're just going to raise it up to CP. Be fearful
because you want to wash your hands.
Be considerate of these parents. These are human beings. You're going to tie them down on CP plan for months.
Because those things don't come with the
woman. I don't practice like that. I'm sorry. I'm a social worker. I don't practice.
We have few cases like that. We have few cases like that.
Because of people like that just practicing
like that.
We have few cases like that.
Safeguarding concerns at all.
Save the woman.
I don't want to save the woman. Plan. You're just going to raise it to CP with no safeguarding concerns at all. And that's what
save the woman. The reason why we have those cases
is really, really unfair on parents.
Thank you. The reason why those cases are escalated is because of reasons like
mental health too. When you are practicing that way, for God's sake, think about the parents' mental health, the children's mental health as well. It's not fair.
Hello, can you allow someone to talk, please? It's not really. See, we are here to learn. We are not here to say that to defend anyone. We are here to learn and to protect ourselves.
You're perpetrating intimidation.
If you keep interjecting, I'll just have to calm down.
It's okay.
Miss B.
Sorry.
Miss B.
But don't perpetrate intimidation here. There's very many people who are scared.
Please let him speak first, please. Let's
Miss B. Miss B.
It's okay now. We are here to learn. First of all, what Mommy Star said, the reality of it, First of all, will a social worker knock on your door without a referral? No. Without a concerns? No. How will you conduct an assessment on the kid, on someone that I'm not even able to see? That is the second thing. And there's no need to even go to CP. It's very easy. The social worker can decide the following day, if you declined me, okay, of an access to a kid, it's a red flag. And the following day, the next thing, we are going to the school. I don't need your consent to see that kid at the school. The kid is going to be given to me. And we have our one-on-one sections. I check your history, I check your file, then I make my decisions. So it's okay for you to exercise your right, but what I'm trying to say, it is not always advisable. I know it's a legal right. Nobody is bullying anyone. You can work with a social worker. These guys, they are not bullies. You can work with them. At the end of the day, if you are clean, there's nothing a social worker can do. We are meant to help. We have early help there. We are meant to support you. If your case is good, Section 17 is not triggered, 47 is not triggered, you don't have any problem. You have your maximum support. Part of what they do is financial. They give you all the financial requirements that you need to support that kids too. So it's not about bullying anyone. Okay? But I said it's okay if you don't really know what you're doing. Okay? And said, please, I need a legal advice. We could even give you a lot of referrals for it. A child cannot be taken away without a court proceeding. So please, stop bullying. And every morning, this kind of, anyhow, let me just pause it so that
you talked about how do you close a case when you don't have access to a child? How do you write an assessment on a child that you haven't seen or spoken to? Because the only way you can make a recommendation is after your assessment, isn't it? And also, I know you said that you can, if a parent is not giving you access to their child, you can go to school. Not when the child is, when you've spoken to the child and you are looking at Section 17. If a parent has said to you, I'm declining assessment, you don't have the right to go to their school. Well, let me talk about where I practice, my own local authority. If we are talking about Section 17 and if the parent has said, no, you can't go to their school. If a parent has declined an assessment, you cannot talk to the child. Where may I work? But it then depends on what we are talking about. If we are talking about, after we've had straight discussion and we think, oh, it's a big deal, it's straight to Section 47, yes, go to school, even if the parents have declined. But if we are looking at Section 17, there's no risk there. There's risk there, but it's a risk that we can manage. The child can be safe at home. And the parents have said, no, you cannot go to school. And there's no way, I haven't seen any assessment written on a child that you haven't spoken, you haven't heard the child's wishes and voice. So the only way you can make a recommendation of SIM plan is after an assessment. And you cannot write an assessment on a child that you haven't seen or spoken to.
Citizen, thank you everybody. Citizen, I want to make this question clear.
Sorry, you're just contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself. No, that makes sense.
That's why you said you cannot do an assessment on a child that you have not spoken to.
But you are saying that if a child is on, how would you put a child on SIM plan if you haven't done the assessment?
Then what I'm telling you, these are the possible outcomes of
Nigeria will be. Nigeria will be. We have two things here, and I quite appreciate the point you are making. We have two things here. Number one concern is this: if after a referral or disclosure, a parent come on visit and said, oh, we've heard about this, I would like to speak with your child alone, does the parent have a right to decline or not? Though, as you've said, if they decline, that might make it like see if they don't want to work with social services, and that might create a kind of tension. That's number one. Does the parent have a right to decline? If yes, what can happen? Secondly, after a parent have engaged with social services, they've heard about the father, they've talked about it, they've spoken with the kids, and they said they are going to make up their reports. And they come back with their report and said, after everything, with all the information, we have never known to local authority, but we think we can support your family under child in need section 17. Does parents have a right to decline? Or is it a mandatory? And if a parent decline, could that be a worry? And why? On what legal rights, legal basis? And what is the risk?
I think you need to bring this Mama BD up. She's just like analyzing it, but she Corey. It's not so, when it comes to these referrals, it's not one of, it depends on the referrer. It depends on the severity of the risk. You can't just, so somebody will come to you
Lara,
and say,
let me borrow your space.
Yesterday, I saw Mommy Star, I saw her pushing her child. And then the same day, they'll come to you and say, today, I saw Mommy Star stabbing her child. It depends on the severity of the case. You can't just look at a child that they say, okay, for example, now I had a referral.
Mama BD send a request. Mama BD send a request.
In 2 weeks. The neighbor raised concern and said they haven't seen this child in 2 weeks and all that. And school raised concern and said, okay, he hasn't been in school, but parents have been in touch. Are you now telling? So when I went to the parents' house and they say, oh, he's just been sick, but I don't want you to see him now because he's got the bug. Am I now going to say I have to see him immediately? Exactly. Or escalate it. It's not one way. So it depends on it's case by case. Please, Mama BD, please come up, sister, brother, please come up.
There's a space for you, Mama BD.
Maybe I'm not explaining properly.
Click a request.
Maybe I'm not explaining properly. It's not one, there's no textbook that we have to follow. It depends on the case and what you've had in your discussions and what you think your recommendation. You can see cases and say, okay, I don't know how to explain. Maybe I'm not explaining myself. But
Mama BD.
It has to meet certain threshold.
I will pass the phone to my wife. She will explain better.
Okay, I actually wanted to say something, but I'll let you speak first. What's your thought? I'll speak, please.
Hi everyone. I think the person that said it would depend on the referral is quite right. So when the referral comes in, there's usually a strategy meeting, and the strategy meeting is where all professionals, so the social worker, health, the school, sometimes the police, if it's a criminal offense, will come together. Everyone will discuss this referral. For example, let's say, it's a case of SA. I don't want to, because TikTok will just ban now. So we'll look at all of the details. Agree, should this be section 47, child protection? If not, then it would be obviously let the social worker go and assess. I think what my husband is trying to say is, for example, if the case is obviously child protection, we need to act. We don't need the consent of the parents, because we're already saying that this child is at risk, and the risk has been assessed to be high enough that it would go straight to section 47. So in this instance, you don't have any right to say no, because we are acting in the best interest of the child. I don't know if everyone's following me.
We are.
Yes.
Personally, I'm not, because if it was done maliciously, from what your husband just explained, if you're doing an assessment and the parent declines, you forward it straight to child protection. So if it's a case like that,
sorry,
then what happens?
where did I say that?
To make a correction, not all referrals go to Strat. You need to clarify that not all referrals you get go to Strat.
In your local authority?
Everywhere that I've worked.
Everywhere that we know.
Not all referral goes to Strat. We need to clarify that.
Interesting.
It depends on the severity of the risk. Then that's when you.
How are we going to know the severity of the risk if we don't have a Strat?
Not all this one. Not all referrals go to Strat. A referral can come and straight away there's not the risk. For me, it doesn't meet the threshold of Strat.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mommy Star, somebody just came out on TikTok and I was telling us how 111 is making referrals. So mothers have sorry, can I finish? Mothers have called in 111 to the mothers have called 111 for advice. So maybe a child drank I don't know, bleach from the toilet, or they've eaten gummy bears, or supplements, or they've drank something, and mothers have called in to ask for support or for help, and then 111 has done referrals. Now she's a social worker as well, and she's saying half of those are done maliciously. So my question to you again, your husband said that it gets escalated regardless of engagement or engagement. That's what he said from the beginning. So is that how you people practice? Because this is the problem we have in society.
I wish Mama BD can come up, because she also said not every a social worker will never know is malicious or not, which is true. However, it is from information gathered or further evidence in their position that will later them. Okay.
Save the woman. Save the woman. If you wanted to know if it's malicious or not,
yeah,
1, 2, 3 interviews, someone will mess up in their statement. Trust me on that. You don't need a year to figure out if it's malicious or not.
Okay. A wise, take a mic.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, apology to Citizen. Apology to Citizen. I will call you Citizen after a while. Please bear me.
All right, I'm here. I'm not here.
All right.
It's fine.
Thank you, everyone. In my own view, because I have 3 kids and I've dealt with social worker differently on those 3 kids. And it starts from my little baby then. He was 2 years old. He can't explain himself. And I was preparing them to school because then I was doing a course, so I have to put him in school early. So I was preparing them. And I prepared their shreddies, the cereal. And they both, because my middle child and the last one, they are very close in age, so I feed them together. And they both sat in front of me. I excused myself to go and play something in the kitchen. So that my little baby, 2 years old, tripped over and put his hand inside cereal. The middle girl was seeing everything. So I took them to school. I explained to the teacher, he put his hand in a cereal, but I poured water on it. I think it should be okay. You know, when you put hot thing in your finger, it will not swell up immediately, you understand? So after a while, in the afternoon, when I went there to pick them, I noticed that they didn't release my son for me quickly. I was wondering what's going on. So after when all the parents have gone, they asked me to come in. Then I met social worker. And they said, and I faced the teacher, I said, but I explained to you in the morning that he tripped over and he put his hand in the cereal. And the woman said, hey, but you didn't say it's too much like this. I said, but it's not too much when I show you. So she kept quiet. So the social worker was doing her job and asking me some questions, and I explained everything. And that my girl, she's 3 years old, and that one is 2 years old. And the girl was saying exactly what I said, but the social worker ignored as if he didn't hear anything. So the second day, they came to my house to visit. They allowed me to take my child home that day. So they came to visit and ask some questions. And my little girl was explaining again what happened. You know, children, they can't keep their mouth shut, especially when things happen in their front. So, and the social worker, and I said, but you hear her saying everything, how everything was happening. And she said to me, she said, I can't take her words because she's a little girl. And I said, but if she said, my mommy holds his hand and put it inside cereal, will you believe? Say yes. And you put it down and say yes. I said, get out of my house. I don't want to ever see you in my house anymore. So he came again. Then when I refused her, she reported me to police that I did not allow her to come in. So the police came with her And I said to her, I don't want to see this woman anymore. I don't want to see her. So they changed my social worker to a man. And this man, I explained everything, and the man was doing the case, and at the end of the day, we end up in a conference meeting, different from school, from GP, from so many organizations. So one of them, they sent somebody to my house. The person came before my oldest son came from school. He came around 2 o'clock, and she said to me, "Oh, is your son at home?" I said, "No." I said, "Oh, and I want to have a word with him." I said, "Okay, fine, come in." So he came, she came, we sat together in the living room. My son came because he was year 5 then, so he can come over himself. So he came, and now said, "I want to have a word with your son. Can I have a word with him alone?" And I said, "Yes, because I know, if you know your child, and you know the kind of child you have, you can say yes." So I say yes. He took him to his room. He questioned him. The woman didn't say anything to me. He just grabbed his note and everything. She went. So at the conference meeting, before anything, they read out what he said. And he said a lot of things to them, because he said, then he was around 8 years old to 9 years old. And he said they read his statement out, and inside the statement he asked them, he said, "I've never in my life, although I'm a little child, but I've never heard in my life that a social worker collects a child from their parents and the child becomes someone in life. If anybody can tell me, let them tell me. If anybody can show me any child that is a doctor after when he has been living with social worker, or maybe he's living with adopted parents, and the child came out to be a doctor or to be a lawyer or to be good somebody or somebody reliable in the society, that I want to say one." And the chairman of the conference was like, all of the teacher, everybody was looking at their faces. And the person that came to collect his statement said, "The thing that baffles me is that our mom was not there. His mom was not there. And not that the mom tell him what to say or anything. I just pump into their house and I grab him to the door. I gave her chance to talk to him." So what me I'm trying to say here, the argument that you can't reject any social worker, you can reject any social worker if you feel that you are not pleased with that social worker. If you feel that you want to treat your case as she's doing her job or he's doing her job, you can reject that person. Because I rejected that woman immediately when he's telling me, if my child is saying otherwise, he will believe, but when she's saying the truth, you don't believe, which means you are ready to do your case, and I'm ready to face you also. So I send her out of my house, and I refuse her not to do my case. So they gave me another new social worker, and we start all over. So I believe you can reject anybody. So for my oldest son, also I have another encounter. That one, when you are from Africa, you still have that eager of African parents. So I smacked him because they keep reporting him in school that he's always disturbing others, this and that. So I smacked him. And when I smacked him, and the hand was swelled up, but he tried to cover me. He said to them, "Oh, my mom was doing something. I just hit my hand on what she was using to..." That time I was doing those things, those wooden spoon that we used to turn soup. So, and they didn't believe what he said. They think I purposely hit him that thing. And he said to them, "If I say my mommy hit me this thing, you will say you will separate us. But I am telling you now, my mommy did not hit me. He was talking to me. I hit my hand. It's like she's talking and my hand is going, and we collide. And it is true, that's what happened." And they don't believe. And he said, "You did not believe me, so what else do you want me to say?" I am telling you, my mother is, he said a lot of things that they can't even take me from him because he knows I didn't do it purposely. So that thing went like that. They clear his own case quickly and finish it. So the last experience I have, my middle girl, then she was around 15, like 6, or not, like 13 years old. She was 13 years old then. And always nagging, banging door, slamming door. Whenever I talk to her, she will slam the door both in front of me. So I called her. I said, I don't want you to repeat that again. I now sit her down and I said to her, I have never slammed a door in front of my mom before, and I will never allow you to slam that door in front of me. Whenever I'm talking to you, go gently into your room and sit down. Even if you're angry, I don't want to hear you banging. So she's a type that, children are different from each other. She's a type that she's so aggressive. She's always on fire and shout like that. So she can't keep herself. She have to like yell over and say things. So I kept quiet. And that day she said it was summertime. Summer is about to finish, and she wanted to go and play outside because she feel like going out just to have break. And I said to her, it's dark now. You can't go out. And I said, you always care about me. You always do this. If you those boys, that is my first child and the last one, that I never scold them. I never said, don't do this, don't do. And I'll say, you are different because you're a girl. I have to monitor you more than the way I monitor them. Though everybody is at risk, but you is different. So she didn't really believe me, or maybe she think I always pick on her too much. So she was yelling that day. I yell, I shout, and immediately I know if she report me, I'll be in soup. I call police. Because now she can explain herself. If she's a baby, if I call police, she can't explain herself. I'll still be in hot soup. So I call police. They came to our house and they said, what happened? I said, I want her out of my house. I can't bear nagging and slamming door, do all sorts of things. I feel like beating her. And if I beat her, you will talk. So take her out. They didn't take her out. They take her downstairs. They sat down with her for 2 hours, talking to her, say a lot of things. That's why I text that time that if they can talk, if they can explain themselves, call police before they call police. That's the only way to save yourself. So you'll be on the safer side. Don't beat them. You can yell if you want to yell. There's no, if they're adult, like grown up like that, you can yell. If you yell, then call police. Let them know. Be on the safer side. Then they will ask what happened. If we explain, they know she is at fault now. And thank God for me, for our own case, it's a little bit difficult. And they have to question my children because my older son is 25 years old, but he's still living with me because he's a boy.
Omo Teniola, yes, she cleared that. She said if they have got to that age, they can speak. Yes, if they can speak, they can
if
talk.
You call police for a child that cannot explain, you still be in the hot soup because they believe that there's something you do that you can't really say. But if they can explain themselves, call police. Tell police I don't want him in my house. They won't take her away or him. They will talk to her. So they talk to her for hours. And at the end of the day, they say, do you want to stay? Do you want to follow us? Do you want to stay? And he calmed down and I said, I'll stay. And they left. Tomorrow morning, like afternoon time, they came after school to check on her. And they said, are you okay now? I said, yes, I'm okay. I'll stay in my house. So, is the way you deal with your children is really, really different. To be on the safer side, if they can talk, please call police. They can't take them away. Once you don't beat them, you don't have mark on them. Because if they call police for you, because I have a friend, a very close friend of mine, that the daughter called police for her. Though the girl is at fault, and the mom did not beat her, she only yelled on her, our African way of treating children. But this girl called police, and this mom, she's the one that be in trouble for what she did not do. She was like, and the other kids, they are very little. They like little to take all of them from her. Because that girl, you know, when a child is desperate to get out of your hand, they can say a lot of things against you, and they think they are doing nice things. Especially when they mingle with friends. Friends is just teaching them a lot of bad things. If you're an African mom, I would advise you not to allow sleepover, all those kind of friendship too much with children. All those English children, they what they can't do to their parents, they will teach you that, oh, my mom cannot do this to me. No. So our children that they think our own is too much. Then their mommies call them at home. And if you see many English parents, when their children have problem with them, they are the one that call police. You barely see English mom, unless those frustrated one. You barely see English mom that they took away children from them. No, because they report first. They will not allow the child to report them. And I think that's the best way. If the child can't explain, report them first to keep you on the safer side. Because the law of UK is terrible. I don't understand the way they do things.
Thank you very much. Citizen, take a mic.
Hi everyone. Host, thank you very much for creating a platform like this. I think as professionals,
before you go, Citizen, because I can see we have few good number here now. On Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time, Nigerian time, 1 p.m. Canada time, we'll be having parental alienation and the UK system involvement. What are their role? What has been their impact, and how this has been affecting African community? Whether one parent is using children as a weapon against the other parent, we need to talk about this. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. So, yeah, basically me, I work in adult service, so I really don't. But I work with my team is preparation for adulthood and adult with disabilities. So basically, I work with like 17 transitioning to like adults. All right. So I've heard, and thanks to everyone that's spoken. Basically, the reason why I'm here is the fact that I'm just here to speak on the notion that social workers are malicious and they do things basically because they want to do. I'm not saying that there are not few people that do that. I'm not saying that, obviously, because there's power dynamics, you get some people that might act in a certain way. However, most times it's usually where the referrer is coming from and the level of the referrer as well. When they say things, for example now, right, the referrer might come from, let's say, the hospital, that, look, this is what happened to a child, or the school. So the social worker has to look at it and has to speak to this child or the parent. Sometimes when you go to speak to these parents, they don't want to listen to you. And the reasons is best known to them. But sometimes it might be because of the fact that they just don't want to speak to you. They are thinking that they are the parents. Why are you coming to speak to us? Like, what have you got to say? Some of them, they kind of think like you're teaching them how to parent that child. Basically, and that's the problem. For example, now, like I said, the last lady that came in, she spoke the fact that she mentioned that her child is aggressive and stuff like that. Sometimes when you're speaking to a social worker and you're using words like that, you're labeling your child that way. They pick on things like that, and these are things that actually that these social workers look out for. And these things is really affecting our community as Africans, as African immigrants in this country. I think because of where we're coming from, the cultural differences, the fact that you're allowed to smack your child and you're in a country now that you're not allowed to do it. Some of these things is usually us. Platforms like this might be able to help to explain or support parents on how they need to go about things like this. Because of, there's a very thin line between the fact that you're parenting a child and you're abusing a child. So basically, and that's what I'm just saying. And the fact that I could see in the comment section that people are pushing the narrative that social workers just want to take kids from. We don't want to. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to break a rule. No, like, and obviously, sometimes when you're doing all these things, you speak to your team managers as well, and they are the ones that actually tell you this is what you need to do and this is what you shouldn't do. So please, let us be mindful of the narrative that will push about social worker. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to
say that, Citizen, you work in a very lovely team. I'm jealous of you. Honestly, that team. Oh God. Okay.
thank you very much. Oh, I want you guys to please help us pass this to your team. Please. What are the supports provided to parents after your involvement? Because many children will be returned back to parents, but during the process of involvement, they have been reported to LADO. LADO have reported to employer. Employer have terminated their employment and also referred them to DBS. Eventually, they got their children back after 2-3 weeks or after 3 months. Now, DBS is coming at them that they need to bar them, and they are making sure to bar them because of that involvement, that disclosure.
Save the woman. The reason why people get that record on the system is because of how it's been reported, and that is where the problem is. So it stems from the beginning of the referral. The referral has been done. It depends on the direction that social worker wants to take it.
In fact,
that is the beginning of the problem.
There's one case recently, to the extent that the court, the social worker has to write to court to vacate the case, and they discharge the case, they close the case, and return the children back. But because
Did I tell you the story?
Social services.
Sorry to interject you. Sorry to interject again. Did I tell you the story of the judge that told social services in courts that they have kidnapped? Those are the words the judge used. They kidnapped. I will send you that video. The judge said to the social worker, "You have kidnapped that child from the legal guardians." He didn't say because that's the term they used, the legal guardians of these children. He ordered them to return. Social services went to a higher court to try and disprove. Judge went above them and sued them.
Now, like this, thank you very much for sharing that. Like this is very serious case I'm talking about. Though the family is still in mess now. Now they drop the case, return the children back. Do you believe that because of initial referral LADO has made to the employer, LADO said the case was substantiated, the referral was substantiated. Because of that, employer have concern. Even though case has been closed, even though police no further action, but the employer still take it up. In fact, they refer the person to NMC. Now, they virtually terminated the person's employment now. You can imagine when you terminated a nurse employment, where can she get another job? Even if she wants to get another job, they will still asking reference. They will still asking story, how it happened. And before you know, a parent now has had 4 rejection letters after being invited, after being assured of employment, but they said they later got information about involvement with police. Unfortunately, they have to withdraw this offer. These are the children that are back to parents. Are you pushing them into poverty? How do they manage their life? Most of this employment now is on COS. COS is becoming an alarming issue now. For you to get another one is a difficult thing. That means the right to live of the children already affected. Is that the positive outcome intentionally want to achieve? How can we reduce this negative consequence? Mommy Star, what can we do? Because it seems there's a gap in practice of social work. Or is it because the mode being taught, the care and control, some local authorities are using other parts? How can you professional in our community translate this or spread this impact, lived experience within your community, within your groups? Is that clear? Does that clear? I don't know whether you got it from Mr.
I got it, sir. I did. But the thing is, you see, if you remember the last time I came here too, I told you reporting this DBS thing is kind of strange to me because we don't do it. Except we get to the end of the case. We don't do it at the beginning. Except if the police do it, I don't know. But I haven't heard of anyone.
I still have a bad list yesterday.
I'm guessing is more of in the northwest. I'm really sorry, but this is just me because I live in the south, and it's not. I don't know. Going common in the south where me I live. Sorry, it's not something that's common where me I live to say that a child has made a disclosure. We haven't finished investigating, or we haven't made a conclusion, and we've gone straight to DBS barring.
And they make it clear. DBS made it clear. DBS made it clear that you cannot work in England, Scotland, Wales.
I just feel that's unfair because if eventually these cases go to court, how do you expect these parents to survive? And when they return the child, what are you returning the child back to? To a parent that don't have recourse to public fund, to a parent that don't have an employment. What happens to the child? I don't know how to answer it. I'm really sorry because, like I said, I don't have experience in reporting to DBS. It doesn't matter to me. And maybe because where I work is more,
I need help with this.
dominated area, so I don't have to go through all this.
Sugar Mark, send a request. Sugar Mark, send a request. I cannot find you here. Send a request.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. When they're making this decision, when they're making this report, we have to look at the aftermath. There's a disclosure. What happens after we've done our assessment? What happens after we put intervention in place? What happens if there's reunification and the child goes back home? How are these parents, how are this family going to thrive? How are they going to be able to prevent this child out of poverty? I think we need to be thinking about the future as we are making decisions as well. Because I don't know what justification anyone will have to make. I don't know what justification social workers will have to make those reports when they haven't thoroughly investigated, done the assessment and all that. And like I said, it's strange to me, Sherry, so I wouldn't know how to answer it. I'm sorry.
Thank you, ma'am.
That is so true. Hello, everyone. Before the advent of COS, all I knew about the DBS was when you are at work and you misbehave, in that line of work. But after COS, I started hearing a lot of issues. You cough, they report you to DBS. You sneeze, they report you to DBS. Like Mommy Star said, after DBS, after the family's reports, do they open their mouth for breeze? Will water sustain them? Even water is not free in this country. Save the Woman. A few months ago, I remember you talked about a case whereby I think it's about the child reporting to the teacher, my parents will beat me if I don't come back home with my jacket or something in that line.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you would think somebody died because they use armor, tractor just to kill ants. So it's very disheartening that all of this is still happening in Northwest. But I keep saying it. You see, this our COS issue is a plus and is a minus. For me, I don't get my shift anymore. It's a minus for me. But at the same time, at least we supported a lot of family back home that they don't have to rely on us anymore. You get what I mean? Because everybody is now independent. But having said that cultural shock is still there. Even with my kids, I will be like, if I knock you, what am I going to do it? You get, it's that thing we are all used to. If I sound you, they don't even know what sound means, but it just comes out of my mouth, just like that. So that's language trust barrier, whereby, just hold on, let me tell somebody to join here. Babe, I'm on Save the Woman, go on TikTok. Language trust barrier, migrant families, a lot of them, they struggle to navigate the system. A lot of them struggle. and they find it difficult to know who to trust. A lot of the genuines. I've seen somebody talking to a family and they were like, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. I just hold my mouth. I don't want drama. This was a family trying to advise another family, and their response was, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. A lot of them don't know what they tend to meet when they get to that bridge. A lot of them will wish they will sleep and wake back never to see that day again. But it's never that easy once you put yourself in front of SS. Nobody wants to be in that position because it's never the way you went, you will come back. Within the family, with the children, like our people will say, you never take me to a police station and you think things will remain the same. Having said that, okay, after all the brouhaha, the families now become to live on eggshell, they don't know what to do, what is wrong, what is right. They even now find it difficult to discipline their children because they don't know who is watching, who is going to instigate their children. We see it happening a lot of time. Okay. I keep saying that cultural shock is a big thing, whether we like it or not. It's a big thing. Where we are coming from, we don't know all of this.
Dunik.
But again, the people you...
Dunik, 1 minute, ma. You made mention of something that when we get to the bridge, we know how to cross it. Somebody comment, the bridge is traumatic. Some people say experience is the best teacher. Not in the UK, is the wicked teacher. Don't experience the trauma, the scars.
Seriously.
Don't wait until you experience.
The family said when they get to the bridge, they would deal with it. I just hold my mouth, fame according to the video. I cannot drink Panadol for another person's headache. And nobody really, you can never be the same. It can never be the same. It can never be the same when you get to that bridge. So, sensitization, platform like this, which is not just about lived experience. Of course, when you hear lived experience, you pick one or two things about it, but people are not patient to even listen to the lived experience. We need to sensitize people. These people are not joking. I didn't start this from the very beginning. I just came midway and I could put 1 and 2 about what they were talking about. These people are not smiling. Once they hear fame, they are looking for an avenue. But like I think somebody's citizens or the social worker that spoke earlier, they are not all the same. The person that spoke before him did say something in the lines of, we don't get to hear social workers taking children from the whites. It happens, but we don't hear them. We all tend to talk more when it comes to people of color, but it does happen among the whites. Every day it happens, but it depends on how we now go back and learn from it. I remember somebody in this platform did say something like, if it's an African family, she knows what it's about. When it's an Asian family, she knows what it's all about.
Exactly. Yes, I heard about that.
But at the end of the day, please, we need to work hard. We need to work hard. With COSA, I've never heard of ACAS before. I've never heard of Tribunal before. But they seem to know more than me and you that have been here for long. If you know them, just tell them they're miracle. You have to crawl, stand before you can walk, then run. But they think you can do it overnight. If you belong to any church or whatever, please talk to your pastors. Let's begin to bring out things like this because it's not funny. It's not funny. People
I don't even attend my churches any longer like that again because churches have to start inviting me. I have to travel left and right. This month,
Pearl, it's you. Your husband will come and give us that lecture. Pearl, it was you.
This month end, I will be in all. Those of you in all, we might see this last weekend. in September. I'll be in all. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. Let's any way we can, sensitize our people. A lot of them are strong-headed, but the few ones that will listen, they will be saved. Because this will save the woman here. Since I joined you and I come across you, I'm always like, so things like this happen. I have never heard about it before. A lot of them. Please, people, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your enemy, tell your whoever. UK is not joking. They are not joking. And you don't want to leave the shores of Muritala Mohammed to come to this place and the story has changed. Nobody wants that. There are things we can do. We can help ourselves to better ourselves. Save the woman. Probably you may have two different shows, the lived experience and probably the teachings, because some people are very impatient to even listen and pick one or two things from what you say. All they want is just straight to the answer.
Hello, please, can I just say something? Yes. Somebody said something before, I don't know the person, I forgot who that person is. Say something that they start asking my children that do you know the number to call if anything happened to you at home? It is part of their curriculum. They teach them from baby. Once they are in nursery, they started teaching them all the numbers they'll call if they have problem at home. Mommy yell at you, call this number.
Your wives, all of that is not a problem.
No, I'm just saying that is the reason why parents should know what
we have a parenting class, Africenti parenting. Not people will register, but they want to do it free. They want to do it free.
You won't know. You won't know that. Oh, my children, I shouldn't scold her too much. If you scold her, they've told her what to do already.
Okay, you see, all of that is not a problem. All of that is not a problem. Every child goes to school to experience some of that, but it now depends on yourself and your children.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is the beginning of the problem. The reason I said that is that once your child knows that he can call police on my mom, I can call police on my mom if you yell at me. So definitely you will do whatever that will provoke you sometimes intentionally. Some kids are like that.
A three-year-old child returned back home and told mommy, next time you beat me, you go to jail.
Yeah, they can say that.
And mommy said, who tell you that? He said, my teacher.
Yes, I'm telling you the teacher.
What I was trying to say is that
teach them what they want to know.
What I was trying to say in my home, what happens in my home remains in my home.
Yeah, because you train your children. We are talking about those children that they brought from home now, and they give them that lecture immediately. They catch it up. They don't know how bad it is. My kids are from, I born all of them here, including my 25 years old. But I grew up with them here. I know what they can teach them. They knew. They teach them from primary school.
Let's give Sugar Mike. Let's give Sugar Mike a mic.
Those new ones coming home with average adult child, they will believe it is right what my teacher told me.
I don't want to believe that, ma, because a lot of children coming from back home, they are not agrico.
They are not agrico, but they are easy to brainwash in a way that they believe it is our right. They are telling them it is your right to do this, it's your right to do that. They don't know that the implication on their parents. They don't know until the thing started coming up and they realize, and then there's nothing they can do.
For parents, let me say this thing. Let me say this thing to parents. Like Donick have mentioned, we need to have 2 sessions, and I want to make it clear here as well. We already had 2 sessions. 1 to share the live experience. 2 Africenti parenting session that parent can enroll for. If you click on the link on the bio, you will see how to go to the course. It will take you to the website. Now, secondly, we need to understand teachers are trained to protect and safeguard. In fact, they are entering school now. After resumption now, the teacher will be the first to enter school. They're already entering school now, doing safeguarding seminar. And in these safeguarding seminars, they are already equipping their teachers how to spot neglect, how to spot abuse. So if you parents refuse to come for this episodic parenting program, that means you are not harming yourself, you are not preparing yourself. So it's up to you. Prevention is not only cheaper, it is reasonable. Sugar Mag, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So sorry. Apology for taking your time. You exercise patience. Okay. We actually appreciate that.
Yes.
Please, let's keep tapping. Let's keep sharing. Take a mic and contribute.
Yes, I wanted to give my own personal experience about social services, because I remember where we were staying at our previous apartment, and we were the only ones staying upstairs, and we had a neighbor downstairs. So this neighbor, this woman, she would say first of all, she came like friend. She wanted to do neighbor. I don't do the neighbor thing. I'm usually on my own, because I don't want nobody coming to my house. Like, I don't do friends with neighbors. Neighbors, good morning, everything ends there. That's how I am. So she was trying to be friends with me, and I was like, I would be nice to her, but she would want to come inside, and I would be like, oh no, that I'm busy later. She did it like 2 times. Even sometimes she would come, she would say she bought tickets for a football match, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm cooking, and she'll be like, okay, my husband can go, he's fine. And I would look at my husband and I'll be like, okay, if you want to go, you can go. And you know what that means? That means when you go, you stay there, don't come back to this house. And he wouldn't go. And because me, I let people do their thing. I don't say, okay, don't go. It depends on you, but you know the consequences, So she was being too pushy. She would always come, literally every day. This lady would come to my house.
Is that person a white person?
No, it's not a white person. She's not a white person, but she's not a black person. Every day, this lady, it's not a lady. She's kind of like a woman. Like, she's a bit advanced. She's older than me, though. She would come to my house every day. She would knock, hello, neighbor, how you doing? I'll be like, I'm fine. She'd be like, oh, let her come inside. I'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm cooking. Maybe later. She was trying to be friendly. And when she came into the picture, my spirit just didn't accept her. And my husband was like, oh, maybe you think she likes me. That was why your spirit didn't accept her. But I kept telling my husband, there's something about this woman. I'm not just comfortable with this woman. So she would still come. Now, after coming, what she started doing, she started bringing gifts. She would come to my house. She would bring, she would use my son. She would say, oh, she brought this for my son. And me, to the bin. I threw it to the bin. And she would come again. She said she bought one teddy bear for my son. And I was telling my husband that I'm literally tired. This woman, I would tell her, no, you don't need to buy anything. We're fine. She will be like, oh, it's just a gift. I'll be like, I will tell my husband that one day I'm gonna tell this woman off, because it's too much. Every day, literally, when she's coming back from work, she will climb upstairs and come and knock on my door. So the other day she brought a strange teddy bear. And my spirit just didn't go with it. So I told my husband that when you're going back to work, just take this teddy bear with you and, I don't know, throw it anywhere. So, because that teddy bear looked so strange, and I had a bad dream with that whole teddy bear. So I told my husband, take this teddy bear out of my house. I don't want it. This woman will bring gifts for my son. She will bring crepes. I'll throw it away. This woman was just doing everything, and it was getting irritating. Okay, now somebody was reporting that we're making noise. We didn't even know that it's this woman that was making noise, that was reporting that my son makes noise. She said that my son's feet always bang on her head.
In fact, I don't want to go into details because it's a lot of details, a lot of things. Now, this woman, let me just cut it short because I don't want to like drag the whole thing. I don't want to go into so much details. So this woman, one day, this woman met me. She said she wanted my son, and this woman was a nurse. I think she was a nurse, children nurse. She met me. She said she wanted my son to come and stay with her, and I was like, I told my husband, my son that doesn't talk, if this woman do anything to my son now, how will I know? You understand? I can't. So when she came, she said, I love him. I want to take him. I said, I'm sorry, I can't allow him to go with you. If you want to see him, you can come inside and see him. Because actually before I didn't want her to come into the house. But when she kept coming and everything, I was like, okay, you can come inside and see him. But she didn't want to. She wanted me to give my son to her. You know, she says just downstairs. She wanted me to give my son to her for her to be with. And I'm like, I can't do it. My husband was like, I said, I can't. I don't trust her. My spirit doesn't accept her. You know? So, in fact, let me just go off. Let me just cut the whole story short because it's a long ride. So this woman was reporting us to the landlord that my son was making noise on her head, was banging on her head, and we didn't know it was this woman. We thought it was the people down floor. Because we have some crazy people that they have some crazy couples that they do make accusations. You understand? These couples, they're white. They will come out and say, "Oh, look at you! You think you're beautiful? You're a monkey. You're this. You're that." At a time, my neighbor even called police for them because the racial thing was just too much. And every time I dress up, I'm out. She'll be like, "You think you're beautiful? You're ugly. You think you're beautiful? You're putting on a blonde wig. You think you're fine. It was too much. We literally had to leave that place because that place was becoming too, traumatic for me. So this lady, the day I told this lady that I'm sorry, I can't let you take my son because she was trying to be nice, trying to like use indirect way to make my son to come to her. Did you know that the minute I told this woman, do you know this woman changed completely? She started showing her true color. So one day our landlord came in. He acted as if he wanted to fix something in the house. And our landlord was just at the front of our door. He was at the front of our door for like more than 1 hour. I peeped in the camera hole and I saw somebody was at the front of our door because I'm actually very, very observant. So I was like, why is he up? Because we are the only ones that stay upstairs. You understand? And the woman stays down. Like if you come up, you have to climb a step up because we stay upstairs. Because it's like it's a very tall buildings and everything. So he climbed up the step and he was just there. And he was just there. And I was like, who is this man? Like, because I hadn't seen the landlord before, because it's usually my husband that saw him. And I was like, what is this person doing at the front of the house? I asked my husband, I said, what is this man doing at the front of the house? I didn't know that this man was actually standing there, checking if he's going to hear a noise. And as God will have it, my son was sleeping. My son was sleeping that day. So there was no even noise coming from the house. Everything was so quiet. So he stood there for a while and he was just there. Then later he knocked. He was like, that he wants to come check things in the house. I was like, okay. And he checked. Then later on, he went back and he was not telling. In fact, it was like the woman told the landlord to come and see things for himself. To come and see things for himself. And I was like, the way the man came, how can you come to the house without informing us? Okay, what if we traveled? We stay in London. Everybody's busy. You cannot just come into somebody's house. You cannot just knock and say, come into. In fact, normally when they want to make anything prepare in our house, they usually like inform us beforehand, before you come in. But this man just like was hanging around and everything, and he was like, I'm so sorry to bump you guys. Just said I heard,
I heard that something was leaking. I was like, nothing is leaking. He said, oh, that the people downstairs said that the water from the side is getting, that our kitchen is leaking and everything. I told him that the kitchen is fine. There's no issue with it. He said, okay, let him check the kitchen. He started, it was just somehow, he was just like, he was just looking for an excuse to just enter inside the house. I was like, okay, let him enter. So he went out, he was just checking things. He was just going around. So I was like, okay. So later on, she started sending letters upstairs. She would send me letters. She would say that she'll report me to council, that she'll report me to she'll report me to social welfare. That's what she wrote. She's gonna report me to social welfare. That she said my son doesn't sleep early, that my son's footstep always disturb her. And we literally stay on our own. Like our house, we're just on our own. We don't have any business with neighbor or anything. The only thing that brings me downstairs is only maybe when I'm going out. We don't have we just literally stay on our own. It's just like a kind of house that, only one person upstairs, two people downstairs. It's like a 2-bedroom flat just on their own. You understand? So we don't have any issue. We don't have anything to, to connect both of us. You understand? So she would send me letters. She would say my son is disturbing her. And literally, like, I was like, who is this person sending these letters? And we didn't even know it was that woman. We didn't even know she was the one. So my husband was like, where is this letter coming from? Because she wouldn't even write her name. She wouldn't even put her house number. She would just put the letter upstairs. I had to even get a camera at the front of the door so that anybody that is climbing upstairs, I would see the footsteps. Because anything that brings you upstairs, that means you're coming to our house. So I would just know that somebody's coming. So I had to get a camera. Then one day I saw the woman walk upstairs and drop it under our door. And before then, I was always praying about it because I told God to expose her, because my husband just feel that maybe I just don't like her. That my husband feels she's just being nice. Those kind of people that would be like, oh, hello, oh, you're good, are you okay? You wouldn't even know. She was literally too nice, but it was so fake because men, they don't really know when somebody's fake, but women know when women are fake. So I just knew that she was just fake and she was just being too nice. So one day, we had to ask the landlord reached out to us that he said somebody reported that my son is making noise. He said he came to the house and he didn't hear any noise. And I had to tell my husband that you need to tell us who reported so that we'll know who is our enemy. My husband asked him and he said is the woman. My husband said, no way, that woman can never ever do that. And I'll tell my husband that you don't even know this. My husband said, never. And I said, okay, no problem. I go and ask her. So, in fact, a day before that day, this woman bought us a center rock. She said that she bought us a center rock. She said that we should put it in the house so that when my son is playing, it will not be disturbing. And I told her that we already have a center rock, and our room is rocked. She said it's not the room, it's the sitting room. I told her that we have a big center rock, so we don't need it. So I told my husband that he must take that center rock back because I'm not going to put anything coming from her in my house. It's not going to be possible. So I carried the center rock back to her, and I told my husband that he should go and ask her if she was the one that is putting papers, letters. I had to even keep those letters. The letters are more than 20 letters almost every day. Two letters every day. So my husband went there to ask her, went there to ask her. You know what she said? She said, I hate you people. And she banged the door.
It's good that she eventually speak out her mind. What you just mentioned now is a similar thing that happened to someone just last week at workplace. When you're at workplace, do your work and get paid and leave the place. Even if it takes you an hour to wait for a bus or to catch a bus, it's better than you getting a ride that will put you in trouble.
Yes,
A manager or a manager or assistant manager or senior telling a friend that, oh, how are you? How are you coping? How about your family? How about your husband's shift? How does it look like? You can imagine.
Yeah.
And she went ahead and discussed this. Before you know, the day she wanted to cancel a shift, she could not cancel a shift because her husband is likely to work. And husband eventually later canceled the shift. But this woman eventually went to work, and this colleague called the police that probably she left kids at home because she knows the schedule of husband. But thank God.
See the woman, if you see this woman, if anybody tell you this woman can do this kind of thing,
you can imagine this one as well. What if that person?
That's the reason why my husband did not even believe. My husband felt maybe I was, because the woman was actually, she was kind of flirting with my husband. You know, she was flirting with my husband, and my husband was thinking maybe because maybe I feel the woman likes him.
It was even good. It was even
this
good.
This woman is so nice. Like, she would book, oh, how you doing?
Sugar Mag. It was good that it was your husband the woman is trying to flirt with. What if it's you yourself? Because it is happening in workplaces. It's not a matter of laughing. It's happening in workplaces now. Women to women, they want to rub mind, they want to rub chest, and they are giving you signal. You are not seeing the signal.
Yeah.
And because you are not seeing the signal.
Let me finish my story. This is I want to finish my story so you will see the extent of the devil. Like, to show you that they say that the devil doesn't wear this on his face. The devil is usually nice. They're so nice. They're so, good morning. When she sees me outside, oh my God, oh my neighbor, good morning. She'll be smiling, and I'll be like, good morning, bye bye, have a great day. She'll be like, come back. Oh, your dress looks so beautiful. She's always like that. She's a pretender. So she banged the door on my husband's face, and my husband was like, I just want to know, I just wanted to know. And my husband couldn't believe his eyes. My husband said, what? This woman is a devil. When my husband came upstairs, my husband was like, baby, I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm sorry, you've been telling me this thing. Oh my God. He said, in my life, why didn't you tell me again? I've always believed you. I thought literally, I thought you were, because you were thinking the woman had eyes on me and everything. That was why she was like that. Did you know that this woman, I went down and told her that, please, I told her, thank you so much for the rug, but I can't accept your gift. She said, why? She said, why? And I said, please, I already have a center rug, and our room is rugged. I don't need to put a rug in the sitting room because our sitting room is just close to the kitchen, and I don't need to put a rug because I have a small baby. I don't want to rock the whole sitting room, please. She said, I don't need it back. I've bought it already. I said, please. Do you know what she did? She just dragged the thing from me and banged it on my face. And did you know that was the beginning of the war? This woman now that she knows that we know that she's the one. This woman do you know that this woman even called social services on me? She said that she would climb up the stairs and she would be like, I hate you. I will make sure they take your son away from you. I will make sure they take your son away from my husband. Will be like, hey God, this woman is crazy. My husband said, this woman have a mental problem.
That is the reason why she's coming closer.
Literally, do you know that this woman, I had to get evidences. Do you know that this woman told me that I told my husband that this woman is going to cause. My husband said it's not possible, that she's just threatening. I don't know. You don't know this woman. She's crazy. Did you know that one day they called me? They called social welfare. They called me. They said that somebody anonymous report that my son doesn't sleep, that I usually scream at my son, that my son doesn't sleep, my son is always up all night, that my son is always jumping around the house, that she's upstairs. You know that even when we're down, this woman will go and knock like, down our floor, because we stay up, she'll be knocking on her roof. What? I had to even record it, like, as evidence. So you know that this one day they called me and they were like, and I told the social service lady that I know who reported this matter. And she said, who? I said, it's my neighbor. I told her that my neighbor wanted me to give her my son, and I didn't agree, and that's why she was laying accusations on me. I had to even show her the letters that my neighbor have been sending to me and everything. I even told her that I don't even feel safe here, that the woman is threatening me. I can't even come out from my house. I literally, like, the woman was like, do you want us to move the case further? Do you want us to arrest her? Do you want us to... I told the woman that I just want the woman to stay away from me and my family. That's all I want. I don't want them to arrest her or anything. Because the way I turned it upside down, literally, the woman was like, she's going to arrest the woman that she's a threat. Literally. So this woman, do you know that this woman, I had to even leave that whole environment. We had to move away from them, because I told my husband that I don't want to stay in this place again, because I don't feel safe. I'm not comfortable, you understand? Because this woman, she would, when she sees me, she will have face towards me, like she would eat at me, because I hardly come downstairs door that leads outside. So we had to leave that place too, because I just didn't feel like I wasn't just comfortable. I was. You said which area? It's Southeast London. Yeah, so I wasn't comfortable. That's the reason why when we got another place, I told my husband that I want a place that's only just we. I don't want no neighbors. I don't want no neighbors. I don't want wahala. I just want a separate house, and that's why we had to live there and get a separate house, and we don't have no neighbor wahala again. But I just want everyone to know that. But the social service closed the case, and she was like that she asked me if I want to take the case further. I said no, let's just close the case and let her just stay away from us, and that's just the thing, and the whole case closed. But let's assume I don't have evidences against this woman. Let's assume this woman was trying to set me up. Let's assume it was another thing. That's why they would have taken my child away from me. Because normally, sometimes as a mom, sometimes when you're taught like maybe to, because sometimes my son like this, he will just carry one crate of egg on the floor, and I'll be like, oh my god. So when let's assume maybe that's the time I'm screaming, and she will now record it and go and send it to the social worker and say I'm screaming. And the social worker will say, oh, there's this. I'm always screaming, So I just thank God
Thank you.
I just thank God that I just thank God that everything was resolved. We left that place and everything was resolved and everything. I want everyone to be careful with neighbors. It's not everybody that smile at you that is your friend. Some of them, they smile at you, but they are evil. They have evil intention towards you. In fact, maybe if you smile at me too much, I will look at you twice.
And also pay attention. Pay attention to who your children are playing with. If you see a child, your child has been going to one neighbor consistently, look at those family.
Yes.
Due diligence is very important, because don't be surprised. You just scream, yell, shout. That child will run out of your house and go to that neighbor. They are the one that helped that child to call police on you. And before you know, they must have even been telling the child, would you like us to adopt you? Would you like to go on a trip with us? Would you like to do this? Before you know, please pay very good attention to your kids. Connect with them emotionally. Don't just be there physically. And at your workplace, this manager admitted that she was the one that called police because they didn't believe she didn't leave the children alone. Probably the husband has been to work and she too eventually come to that shift. And this is the employer that you try to suffer for, to cover the shift for. And they are the one that still say it is their safeguarding concern to call. because they believe your husband's supposed to be at work at that. What will even make you sharing your husband's schedule with them when you don't even know their intention?
Yeah.
Innovator coach. You say you have such experience. You are not up here. Maybe I'll bring you later. Let's just stand up this one and please, thank you so much, everybody that have contributed. Don't forget Saturday, UK time, 6 p.m. We will be talking about parental alienation. So,
and we're like, Mom, we've carried out our investigation, and which was why it took us that long to get back to you and to arranging this meeting. And we have found out in 20 years, we don't have a record of you with the social services. There's no record of you or any of your children with the social services. So which made us believe that you are an intent parent. You are a parent who knows what she was doing. You are a parent who is quite good at at looking after your
Inspiration. Are you up here? You said you want to talk. I will bring you up. Inspiration.
So we have no reason to
say the woman, I'll stay in the comment section if I'm really possible.
Thank you, darling.
As a parent, you know what you're doing. And trust me, how many Nigerians in diaspora, if you're a social worker, I'm sure you will know. Like they collect African people children left and right. So this social worker said to me, we don't have any issues with you, and we're happy for your son to come back home with you. And we're like, no, we've already contacted the police, so it's up to the police to decide if they're going to press any charges or not. So they were like, you know what, obviously. And they were saying to my son as well that, come, son, you're going to go home, but you have to understand there's going to be ground rules from your parents. And the social worker was like, in terms of his mobile phone, we are not ignoring you, we are not abandoning you, but Mom, I want you to make up your mind about giving him the mobile phone back because he wants to keep communicating with him, blah, 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 blah. And prior to that, remember when they said I have to give him or not, they actually spoke to my daughter.
Hello, give us a few minutes. We will give you a mic.
Okay.
A 13-year-old girl. He asked me to excuse him. So I excused them, and they were asking my daughter a lot of questions. And my daughter was like, Mom, they were just asking me that, do I know what to do if I was in a position whereby somebody smacked me, or if your mom smacked you, do you know what to do? Those are the questions they were asking my 13-year-old. Yes. They asked my 13-year-old, do you have the number of the police? Do you know who to call if your mom or your dad did this to you? Those were the questions they asked my daughter. Yes. Those were the questions they asked her. Anyway, fast forward to the meeting. So the meeting ended and we had to go home, and they were like, they will keep communicating with my son, blah, 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 blah. So I think about April or May, I was at work and my kids said to me, Mom, the two policemen came to the house, they were asking for you. And I was like, why would the police be looking for me? I've not committed any crime. I've not committed any offense. So that's me thinking about, have I driven past a camera? Have I oversped? Did I speed where there's a speed camera? Did I go above my mile per hour? Like, I was thinking in my head. I was even saying to colleagues at work, colleagues were like, women don't bother about it, blah, blah, blah. So apparently they left a card and I phoned, and a few days later, a police officer phoned me to say, due to social incident regarding your son, that we are going to be giving you a caution. And the caution means that you are only allowed a caution once every 3 months, and then it stays on your name for 2 years. And if I decide not to accept that caution, then they will forward it to the Scottish Prosecutor Fiscal, and then they will take the case to court, and I could get convicted by a judge for assault. So I was like, on top waiting. I mean, obviously, looking back to when the officer was speaking to me, you could tell that the officer was really not comfortable giving me the caution because I'm the mom. Where's my parental right? It was a smack across the shoulder. No prints left, no mark, no injury, nothing, So they brought it. So when I was told that, I obviously told my manager at work, I explained everything as well. She was like, no, women, it's not, and you guys know I'm a nurse, so I'm due to revalidate. And I'm like, what is this impact going to have on my job? So I spoke to my manager. My manager was like, women, I don't think it's any big deal. That whatever the caution is, let us know, and then we'll seek advice. So I received the caution, was like a long slip of paper. All those supermarket receipts, that was what the caution looked like. And it wrote this, then my name, it said common assault or something. That was what it was written on. And there was an instruction that if I decide to accept the caution, I don't need to do anything. But if I don't want to accept it, I can let them know, and then they'll obviously take it further from there. So with me being a nurse, the impact here is that anything, whatever question you receive as a nurse, you need to notify the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So that's where you being a member of a trade union is very, very important. So obviously I needed advice.
Inspiration, take a mic. Mommy Pal, good evening. Thank you for joining. Oh, let me blow a trumpet. You've been there for a while now.
Thank you.
Inspiration, take a mic. Inspiration, are you still there? Make we hear your voice, Mommy Pal.
I don't. I'm just here listening to everyone. Is there anything you want me to particularly talk about?
Oh, what any just tips for parents, because the children are resuming school now and the teachers are already receiving safeguarding seminar. What tips can parents have?
I think for me, I would always, advise parents to just have a good relationship with their children. Make sure that you speak to them, especially about like their culture. Speak to them that due to the color of their skin, there might be some people that just don't like them, and also like about the consequences of maybe if they move with certain people, because I think they mentioned it at some point. I think I was cooking then, but I was listening to it when they said when someone mentioned that
I will send my postcode though. I like food.
That when they move with sometimes British kids, they might influence them, and I think it's quite sad that some children are saying now. They told us in school that if I call the police on my mom, she's going to go to prison and all of that. That's very bad, especially in this day and age. So I think it all boils down to how we raise our children. Let them know. As long as we're not, abusing our kids, we can discipline our children. These people that we're even talking about, they discipline their children, but obviously they know how to do it. And also language matters a lot. These are the tips that I have got. So, for example, you tell your child, don't use the word beat. If it's possible, let them understand your language. If you're outside, speak your language to them. No one will know. If anything even happens, you might communicate with the child, let them know certain things without the professionals knowing what you're talking about. So I see this every time, and in church as well. I do tell them, these parents, stop saying you will beat your child. That might be the only thing that the child will go home and they'll go to school and tell the teacher, and then they'll come and say, maybe you're physically abusing the child. So we just need to be very careful. And to be honest, I always feel really emotional and empathetic towards African parents, because I think we're marginalized. The language barrier, the cultural barrier as well. That's why I try as much as possible, to be empathetic. But unfortunately, a lot of social workers are not. I've just come back from an assessment today, just so I can give an overview, because I think some people were trying to say social workers are this or that. I am one, and I tell you, they are very incompetent social workers. So I went out with this older woman for an assessment. I don't even work with children. I used to, not anymore, but I work now with teenagers. And we've done the assessment for this young man. the parents just vented out his anger, one of the parents, the dad, and said, because we said we can't provide a service, which is quite understandable because this man, he has a disabled child. You know, you can understand the frustration. And then he vented his anger at the older woman. She's an older colleague. She has been practicing for over 30 years. So when we got back to the car, she was not like, what was that all about? And I said, I don't know. I think, but we can't understand. We need to be empathetic as social workers and all of that. And she was like, but did I see when the dad beats the child? And I was like, what? When did that happen? She said it. Yes, she was like, yeah, he seems like a bully. I was like, okay. And then, did you see how he was hitting the child? I was like, I didn't see that. Because the dad challenged our authority, she felt really bad, came out and said, did I not see how the dad was beating the child? Was hitting the child? This is very... and this woman is like, she's a coordinator. So what I did there was like, there's no point raising the safeguard, and I told her, because this young man is going to supported living anyway. But this is an example of just, you can say just one word to show, or they might just not like the way you reply them. And they will cook up stories. I've seen it so many times, unfortunately.
Thank you. Inspiration, take a mic, and I will call Sugar Mag. Mommy, let me blow a trumpet for another.
Sorry, sir, my net.
Let me blow a trumpet for another social worker downstairs. Madam Tolu, I saw you shortly. Please, let's respect each other. We have a lot of professionals in the house. Let's respect people's views, opinions, and be respectful with your words. Be careful of the word you choose to use. Inspiration, it seems you are busy, Lou. You are in the highway.
Okay, I'm here. No, I'm here. I'm waiting for you to finish talking, sir, before I talk.
Are you cooking as well?
Can you? No, I'm not cooking. I'm just on my way to the house.
Okay, all right.
Like 3 posts to my house.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Continue if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, mommies and daddies. I currently have a social service in our life, and I've told Save the Woman about it. But of the latest, I've not really had time. I just said, let me not disturb him. Let me use that word. Waiting for him to come on live so that I can brief him, talk about it, and use the opportunity to brief him at the stage where we are. I came with 3 of my kids to the country, and unfortunately, when we came, the primary school I got for my daughter, the reception was not good at all. She was really bullied there, and she had so much racist abuse. So to cut the long story short, because the place was gotten for me by the company that brought me, and we needed to change the accommodation after some time. So we moved to another location within the same town, though. I used the opportunity to change her to another school, a primary school that the younger brother, this eldest brothers are, which is still very close. So I know the way they used to transfer record and everything. So they now transfer records to the school, and part of the thing they transferred, I think I've said it here before, that she's always moody, she's not happy, she's this, she's that. But I think when she began to settle in, and after much strength back and everything, that if they do her anything, she wants to also react to them. She was no longer crying again. She was no longer doing things that were awkward. So instead, that does anything. So I think the new school she went to, complaint keep coming that she's always aggressive. She's attacking other kids and everything. I had to sit her down. She now opened up to me to tell me that these are the things they were doing, and they were even calling her names.
So I sent a very strong mail to the office, to the school. We called for a meeting. So this meeting has been ongoing for a very long time. For over a year, she has been there. Maybe in a term, we'll meet like 3 times. Sometimes they will call for the meeting. Sometimes I will call for the meeting. So unfortunately, there was one of these incidents that she had. She said she came home one of the days. She had a scars on her hand. There was this viral mark and everything. I asked her what happened. She said she did tattoo on her hand. I said, wow, what kind of tattoo is this one? Tattoo that gave her mark and everything. She now said it was her friend. I was like, no. She knew I was going to go to the school to report. So she now said she was the one that did it. So the next morning, I had to help her with her part herself. And when I baited her, when I was trying to scrub her, that place was bleeding. And I said, no, I won't take this. Your school needs to be aware of what you have done to yourself or whoever that did it to you. But then the scars and everything. So they were going to investigate it, and I'm just trying to cut the story short. They were trying that they will investigate it and get back to me. So that issue now died down. So I was working one day, they now called me and said she has an emergency. I should come to the school. They didn't want to tell me the emergency on the phone. I called my office and I went to the school. Only for me to get there, they said she self-harmed herself. She was crying profusely, seriously. She was just crying. When I came, she ran and came to meet me, hugged me, was crying. Mommy, let's go. What happened? She said she's harmed herself. That honestly, she did not harm herself. That place where she had those tattoos, I think those scars were healing. She said the scars were itching her. She now carried eraser and sharpener, a broken sharpener. She was trying to use it to scratch the place, and at the end of the day, the thing now gave her a cut, 2 cuts on her hands. They saw her bleeding. That was when they called me and they saw the sharpener. Said she self-harmed herself. So when I came, they said I should call my GP. We called GP. GP were on break. They now said, okay, I should take her to emergency minor injury centers. It was quite far though, but good enough. I was driving. I took her there. They did little interview. They did the dressing, and we came back to school. Not that to drop her, but just to let them know that we've gone for the medical attention and I'm taking her back home. The safeguarding lady in the school now said they want to refer us to social service and safeguarding camps or something, that they feel she has a mental issue or something, that something is bothering her mentally. So she needs people in camps to talk to her. And I said, but at this stage, I'm not going to object because they've told me about it before. And I said, no, she doesn't have any mental issue, that they should check what is making her angry. That was when I called for I sent a very strong email to them. And I said, they should call for a meeting. I called the parents of the children that are calling her names and everything. I think when they saw my seriousness, that issue of they want to refer her to camps and everything now died down. So at that stage, when they now said they want to refer her to camps, and I said, okay, no problem, they should refer. Let them just do whatever they want to do. So the whole of that period, when she came back, but when she went back to school, I kept asking how is she and everything. Then back at home, I was still begging her that if she has anything, she should tell me. We are not able to identify 2 teachers that she said she can talk to. Because initially she said when she go and talk to them, they will tell her that maybe she has an issue with the child. They'll say, no, you are overreacting. You are taking things too personal. Another incident, they'll say the person you are talking about is just a child. Just ignore the child. She's just a child. She's just a this. She's just a that. You know, that kind of they'll just tell her off in kind of a way. So those telling her, she just felt nobody listens to me. So anybody that does anything, she wasn't fighting. Maybe she would just yell at the child, say, will you get out of here? You know, that kind of African child that is already angry. So, and those one will not cry. So, parents shouted at me, this one did this one did that. So those were the things they were saying. She was not aggressive and anything. But I kept holding on that they should not just look at her reaction. They should look at the actions that is causing her to react. Let's address it from the root first. But when you now got
Did we lost our network? Inspiration, someone want to know the age of that your daughter. Okay, Mommy Tolu, before I give you a mic, let me give Black what's name?
she's 10 years.
Go ahead, go ahead. Try to use 2 minutes to round up. Go ahead. Go ahead. Inspiration.
Okay, sorry. So, social service now came. They now, initially when they called, they told me and said I was receiving social.
Are you at home now?
Service from. Was asking if times that were coming, they want to go. Where's the issue? Yeah, I'm home. Can you hear me?
Yeah, because the thing is breaking somehow.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, it's breaking.
Social services now.
So, social service now came.
Yes.
And yes, they came to the house. They came to my house. They came to my house. They had an interview with me. Had an interview with the child. They now said they want to see my other children. I told them no, that you can't see my other children. That the one you have issue with is the one you can see. And moreover, my eldest boy is 16, turning 17. So he has his own right to say, I don't want to see you. Even my 13 years old said they don't want to that I think I'm okay if you can talk to the one that you have concern with. So she now said she wants to have private time with her and everything, which also obliged them and everything. So camps, they now gave us an appointment for camps. We went to camps. During the interview of the camps, they asked questions, but because my daughter was crying and she couldn't really talk much, so I was the one not talking for her. But I just felt that maybe there is something she wants to say that might get me scared. If I'm there, she will not want to tell me. So the clinician said, if I can give them some few seconds so that she can talk to her. And I said, why not? You can talk to her. So when Anna left, I think they had a chat. And my daughter now opened up to the clinician and said, actually she was bullied, and that thing actually got her into depression and got her scared. And one of the child was telling her that she's too ugly. I know she has told me that before, that she's too ugly, that she doesn't deserve to live, she should go and kill herself. But she didn't tell me the aspect of she should go and kill herself, that they just said she's too ugly, that she's too black, she's too that. When she told me that, I tried to build her morals or build her self-confidence. I even now went to enroll her in a modeling school because she's actually beautiful. I was not trying to make her to know that don't depend on what they are telling you. You are a beautiful child. Because you are black or they are fair doesn't make you less beautiful than them and everything. So that was the same thing the clinician told me. And I said, yes, I'm aware that was the thing she now felt that she's too ugly to live. That they keep telling her, if you can't kill yourself, you don't deserve to live and everything. So when we finished the appointment, we left that day, and the clinician said they are going to hold another meeting and they will get back to me on the feedback and everything. So social service came now. 3 times they've been here. The second time I wasn't home, she called me and said she wants to talk to my daughter. She wants to see my daughter. I said, I'm not home, I'm at work. She was like, she's around my neighborhood and there's nobody that can grant you access and everything. She was like, she doesn't even need to come to the house, that if she can come downstairs. I said, well, I don't know if the brother will be willing to do that. So I'm just saying this so that if you can correct me, anybody can correct me at this stage. And I said, okay, let me talk to the brother. If the brother is willing to do that. If he's not, that means you have to come back because I'm working. And I called my son. My son was like, she can't come upstairs. And I said, fine, she won't come upstairs, that she wants to talk to her downstairs. They actually now went downstairs. She took her into the car, they talked and everything. I released her again. They came upstairs. She now told me and said she was done. She's going. Last week again, she now called and said she was coming to my house after the camps appointment that she's around my neighborhood, she wants to see my daughter. I said, I'm not in, I'm at work. She now said, but she just need to talk to her that even if I'm not in, is it not okay? And I said, no, because the kids cannot do that. And I said, okay, that is the case. You need to come during my break time. She now agreed. So I now left work, drove home during my break. So I was the one that attended to her at that period, on the last visit during my break. She now said, can I release her to her? Let her just have a little drink outside and everything. I was not looking at her. She was like, if I go to school to see her, you won't know. You won't know. So don't be scared. I'm not here to do anything. I just want to know how she's feeling. And now she's going back to school. We need to know her fears and we need to know how to support you and support her now that she's going back to school, because it's like she's happy at home. She's not happy in school. So we want to know how to support her to go to school. And I said, okay, fine, but I'll be going back to work at 4:30. So she needs to be back by 4:30. She now took her out though. I was just around. In 10-15 minutes, she came back with her. Went downstairs, speaker, and she left and everything. So that is the stage we have been on this matter. And then they are resuming school next week. So I've just really been scared about this thing. But so far, what she has disclosed, she has not told them anything that we are doing anything bad at home. All she has been saying that it is school, it is school, it is school, it is school. But my fear, like what if a woman will always say, let them not go and change it tomorrow and say, then one other thing she told the mom, the clinician in the camps was that the clinician asked her that, why didn't you tell your mom? I'm a single mother. She said that my mom has so much on her hands. She's doing too well for us. If I tell her that that is going to break me down. That was exactly what she said. That is going to break me down, and I will go to the school and go and cause trouble. And she doesn't want me to go to the school and cause trouble. That is why she didn't tell me that somebody told her that she should go and kill herself. And that's why she told me somebody said she was okay, but she didn't tell her that she should go and kill herself. She now said that she was feeling empathy for me, that she doesn't want to tell me that was why the clinician called me in and was telling me that this is what she said and everything. So I just said, like, this is the extent I've gone to save a woman at the moment. You know, the last time
you are in a good, yes, you are in a good hand. All you just need to do is you need to have copy of that clinician report, okay? Just for your own sake. But I've got professional in the house. Madam Tolu, Pal, Black, everybody will contribute. So Black, make your input, and if you have a comment about what she just shared now.
Okay, Save the Woman, thank you very much.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you very much, sister, for sharing your experience. I think I wanted to come on briefly to share. Obviously, I am a Ghanaian, I'm Black, and that is something that I wanted to make it very clear. I only came on mainly to be able to share that we shouldn't make people make us think that we shouldn't make people make us fear social services. And basically, that's the reason why I came on TikTok, because unfortunately for our community, people sometimes make it look like social services have got some kind of extra powers where it feels like they can just walk into our houses and remove our children. And, you know, I'm a social worker myself, and the reason why I do these things is to be able to educate us, is to be able to empower us. Sometimes it's due to the lack of knowledge that we have as a people, and that is the reason why sometimes people do things. I'm not by any means suggesting that, you know, we will all meet the best of social workers out there, but what it means is sometimes if we don't know our rights, if we don't know the system in which that we are living in, unfortunately we become victims because of our upbringing, because of how we were brought up, because of some of the things that people tell us. Unfortunately, some of the information that, you know, our police colleagues do tell us, it's so pathetic. And for me, that's the reason why I come on people's lives, to educate us. What are some of the information being shared with the police? Oh, I'm having issue with my husband. I'm having an issue with my wife. You know, and straight away we report ourselves to the police. But what people don't realize is immediately the police come to your house, your name is going into the system, your children's name is going into the system, your family's names, your address, everything goes into the system. The system is networked in the sense that all this information will be shared with the police. So this is not to make anybody panic, but what it means is if the police have attended your home during these holidays, by the time the children go to school, teachers are aware that the police attended your home. Sometimes it's not because we don't want to use the services, but sometimes we overly expose ourselves to the services. What do I mean? Mom, dad have their own issue, and straight away, I am recording you so that I can send it to the police. I am recording you so that I can send it to social services. Let's ask ourselves, since when did social services know how to look after our children better than us? Okay? Sometimes I know, save the woman. Let me be very frank. I would say sometimes we put ourselves in those situations. We put ourselves in those situations because of some kind of funny advice that people may have given us. If you go and report, if you do this, maybe through that you will get your palette. These are my little Niger English that I've learned. But, let's ask ourselves, immediately the police are reporting that they came to your house because of a report. By the time the child gets to school, they've already told school that please keep an eye on the child. It's not because that child is black. It's not because that child is white. But they've got a safeguarding responsibility for that child. Okay? So by the time the child gets to school, the school is already told that keep an eye on that child. And let's also agree amongst ourselves. If any of us were going to school and our head teacher was calling us to their office to say to us, Tolu, Funke, come and sit with me. Let me make you a cup of tea. What is going on? I don't see you to be your happy self. I don't see you to be very, bubbly. What's going on at home? Which of our children will not tell them more than they need to tell them? Okay? It's not because teachers find a tricky way, and these are the things that sometimes we struggle with. We always have the mindset that teachers trick our children to say things to them so that they can remove our children. My people, the government is even struggling to look after the children who are in their care. The government is struggling to look after the children who are in their care. So if we maybe put ourselves together and we say, oh, social services are out there looking for black children, what is the benefits? So the black children does not add anything to social services, maybe money or the economy in terms of social services. It's just that mindset that sometimes we need to sit back and ask ourselves, what do we need to do different? Sometimes as a family, maybe we may have our own differences. Maybe our children don't understand that mom and dad are on COS. So maybe mom lives somewhere, dad lives somewhere. If that is the case, let's tell these children the truth. Let's tell these children the truth instead of this is our family issue. Don't go out there and open your mouth. Okay? Your child goes to school and the teacher calls you as a parent to say that your child has done XYZ. I always say the first, cheerleader for any of our children is us, the parents. The first person to back your child is you. You don't straight away stand in front of your child and start to chastise that child in front of that teacher. Get the child home. Get the child to tell you what exactly went on. Instead of we thinking that, straight away you've gone to disgrace us. Okay, you will come home and meet me. My people, if we are telling these children the way we hear certain things in terms of threats, okay, it doesn't settle well with these children. These children are not even caned at school. These children are not even punished at school. So who do you think the children will prefer to talk to? The children will prefer to talk to their teacher. If things are going on for that child, the children are possibly scared that I don't want to give mom too much wahala. I don't want to give dad too much problem. It's not that easy to be that sole parent to look after your child in this country by yourself. It is not easy. I'm not by any means suggesting that when things are not working, just keep on keeping it on. No. But if we can manage it, where we can have both parents, if we can manage it, where we can have a community, we are able to keep these children within the community. In the worst case, where you've done something, where the child even has to be removed, you are able to volunteer a friend to look after that child of yours. Instead of the child coming into care, going to live with some kind of stranger in terms of fostering family. These are things that we don't know. These are things that we don't know. So a social worker will not just be able to go to court. We haven't got that power to say that I want to remove that child. A police can. A police can walk into your house today and say that because that child is at risk, they are removing that child. A social worker, we have to go to court first before we can remove any child. And this is no easy task. Just by going to the judge and say, you know what, because that child is black, I want to remove them. Because that child says they only eat egusi in their house, I am removing them. Because that child said during the holidays, all their friends went on holidays, but they were the only ones who didn't go on holiday, so I want to remove them. All these things, excuse my language, are nonsense. And we don't need to allow ourselves to be living in that state of panic and fear, to think that social services is so powerful that we cannot exercise our right as parents. I'm a parent, but I'm also a social worker, okay? But unfortunately, when a case comes to me and it's an African case, usually it is not to do with any other thing than neglect, any other thing than mom and dad fighting. And the third one, which is usually the norm, is somebody hitting the child, because that is how they were brought up. My people, we cannot do that here. This is a new system. Somebody will say, yes, the cane is in the corner, it's only to threaten that child. Please, if you know you are not using that cane, you don't need that cane in the house. It's as simple as that. If you know you are not sending that child to Niger, all of us here, if we get money, we go to Niger for holidays. All of us here, if there's a Ghanaian here, we go to Ghana for holidays. So why are we telling that child, I will take you to Niger as a punishment? Why are we telling these things to the children? So if the child goes to school and they know that that child, Funke is so lively, but they come to school and they are so quiet on that day. Why? Because I misbehaved and my mom says they are going to take me to Niger. My dad says they will take me to Niger. People, it doesn't speak well. People don't understand that Nigeria has got so many beautiful places and even better places than we have here. But it's just because we give them that narrative, we give them that permission to think that taking them to Niger is punishment. So why do we think they will allow the child to do that? My people, let's not our words be used against us. Let's start thinking in a very creative way. If the child has misbehaved, let's sit the children down. Let's find a way of helping them to understand where they are coming from. Mom and dad may sometimes not have money. We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't be scared and let them know that, you know what, we are struggling financially, but you know what, we will make it through. If we believe in God, if we believe in whoever, let's bring these children to be part of the family. It is your family. It is you. It is the very people of you. You haven't got an uncle here. You haven't got an auntie here. So if you are just going to follow the advice from people who are telling you that call social services, they will help you with your palais, they will help you when your papers are due. My people, you are just exposing yourself. You are just exposing yourself. So let's try our very best to learn that this system, unfortunately, is not made for us. But the only way, thank you very much, the only way that our children can also stand to be the children that we want is to be able to talk to them instead of keep quiet. When an elder is talking to you, you don't. Sometimes let's just listen to them. Let's give them the opportunity to talk. Let's teach them our culture and our values. Not to say that we don't want our children to Dobali before us. If that is what we do as a culture, let them do it. Instead of our children saying, oh, our parents make us, they find a very funny way of, describing it as if our parents make us worship them. If this child says that to any professional in school, wherever, the child will be told, or you, the parent, will be questioned. But if you are making them understand that Dobale is part of your culture, this is what we do, nobody will be able to tell you. Don't make your child do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will soon round up now. I know we've been here for a while now, but please don't forget, mark your diary, Saturday, 30th of August, 6 p.m. UK time, Nigerian time, 1 p.m. Canada time. We will be going live on that crucial topic. And Black, what's it called? Just mention it now. Parents, if there are disputes between you as an adult, look for a way to resolve this. Don't use your children as a weapon. Look for a way to resolve it. The system are designed already there before you come around. So it's not designed for you. It's not suitable for you. Might not be suitable for you. That is why you have to plan your own family as to work for your family. Madam Tolu, before I bring Sugar Mag, I know probably you want to leave soon. Are you there, Mama?
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good evening, ma. This is your first time of climbing the box.
In fact, this is my first time of coming on TikTok to join a live program. Honestly,
you deserve a trumpet. You deserve a trumpet. That is for coming on this live, for being on the TikTok first time.
This privilege is wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, thank you to my colleague that just spoke. Everything he mentioned is crucial, and it's important for us to pay attention to all of these things. For me, I see the children's services as a corporate parent, and the problem is because of where we are coming from, we don't have the structures in place, which we should have in place. I'm an advocate of structures like this to be available in Nigeria or any part of Africa, because every child matters. And if we come from that point of view where we see our children, we value them in terms of everything that goes on for them, whether with their education, their health, their relationship, social inclusion, and all that, we will see that it will help a child to be well-rounded, and you'll be able to achieve in any society. You have that confidence. That is the whole point of having children's services. I'm not going to minimize the fact that we have some bad eggs in the system. I'm not going to minimize that. And when I say bad eggs, let me be clear in terms of when it comes to working with children from a different ethnic background to the Caucasians, they are not culturally sensitive. They do not even understand a lot of our culture, the way we think, our tradition, and all that. And we are not yet there, but we are getting there, right? We are getting there. It's like in any profession, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's the same thing in the children's services. But a lot of the times, we are trying to work to ensure that, the welfare of that child is paramount. If it comes to a father, if it comes to a mother and the child in the middle, we will go for the child because the child is the vulnerable one in this equation, and we want to ensure that the child is well protected even in all of this, and at the end of the day support the whole family. But there's a lot of reasons why we're having this friction and the problems here, and I want to address my sister's issue, and honestly, thank you for sharing that. It's a very, very sensitive issue, and honestly, I feel so upset listening to that, because I'm just trying to put myself in your daughter's shoes. And when it comes to African child experience of bullying, when you feel unheard, when you feel like people are not looking at you like you are valuable, or you are not seen, and then that is being flipped around as a self-harming issue, honestly, that breaks my heart. I'm not going to lie. The use of language, how that flipped quickly. I mean, I know you tried to summarize what has happened in the past up until the tattoo. You mentioned it was a tattoo.
And I'm trying to wrap my head around how tattoo became, self-harm, and they started using the word self-harm. How a school's negligence, a school's lack of, cultural awareness turned to your child having mental health issues and being labeled as a self-harmer. I would love to know. I mean, if you're there, if you can answer me, I would appreciate this. Is your child in primary school or in secondary school?
She's 10 years, year 5 and 6. Yeah, between 5 or 6. Yes, she's 10 years
Between
old.
the age of, okay, that's a very young child.
Year 5. She's in year 5.
Yeah, she's in year 5. She's young, and there has been no history of this. A child cannot just, have tattoo, and then tattoo is all of a sudden turned into self-harming issue. And I don't know if Mr. Odede is supporting you in this issue. I think it should be a complaint to the local authority, and you need to have someone in your corner, because the staffs are not trained. They are not culturally competent. In my perspective, they need to recognize the trauma that they have caused your child. It's not something for you to be afraid of. You need to be, well equipped to be able to speak up and stand up for your child in this, because I don't want a situation whereby she is beginning to worry going back into school. And all of this didn't happen, all of a sudden. You've made complaints. And that's why I always encourage parents or anyone, if you're having issues at school, make sure you have documentation, email. If anybody talks to you, even if children's services, my colleagues, people like myself talk to you, put it in an email. Following our conversation today, so you have all of those documents when you want to present your case, because this matter is a very strong one for you to pick up. Your child did not have mental health issue before going into that school. Your child developed it as a result of the school, the people that are meant to protect her, not listening to her. She doesn't feel heard, to the point that she's been told to go and kill herself. These are safeguarding concerns within the school, not within your home. It is within the school. And it is important for you to have the right people to support you. And in terms of what you can do at this, and just to backtrack to you talking about the social worker just turning up at your door, that is very wrong. I'm a social worker. I work in the fostering team. I was in front line, but I'm in the fostering team. I'm not going to turn up in front of a client's house without arranging a visit, except it's an unannounced visit, right? And even if it is an unannounced visit, I will explain to you. I will do so visits, but there are days that or months that I will do an unannounced visit. I may hear anything and turn up at your door. If it's an unannounced visit, it's a different ballgame. But before a social worker turns up at your door, it should be arranged with you, because that is you being respected. There's dignity in working together, and our work involves use of self. There's a lot of power that is involved. But social workers carry power. I'm going to say this, we do, because we represent the local authority. There's a power for there's a way we can work with family, or we're not overpowering you. We are working in a balanced way to empower you, so that you are also able to do what we are saying is not going on well in your house. So it shouldn't, just like my colleague said, it shouldn't be seen as a service that is coming into your life to destroy you. It is meant to be there to equip, to empower you, so that what is going on that is not right can be fixed, or whatever it is that is coming up as an abuse or a neglect issue can be addressed. So social worker should be able to to book appointment with you. And if the social worker continues like that, put it in an email to their manager. Put it in an email to their manager. You deserve respect. Your child deserves respect. And your child, the other child in the house, should not be given that responsibility for social worker to come, and then he is the one who is not. I hope you get my point. So
thank you very much.
What you can do in the meantime, create that safe space for your daughter to talk to you, to open up to you, to be confident in our identity. Black is beautiful. This is an aspect that we need to teach our children, right? The people who is trying to pull them down or pull us down, they are the ignorant ones. And we have to come from a place of grace to, in the first place, empower our own children. Let them understand their identity, help them to understand, how to address biases and have conversations about it and be confident in doing it. So your daughter needs to have a voice. Don't let her cow to whatever they are doing at the school. While you take up the complaint to school, you can also source for, support outside of the school for your daughter. If you know what I mean, you can source really, Mr. Olede, he's got my contact details. If you need any further information or support with that, I'm always happy to help. Okay, thank you for having me,
Madam. Thank you very much. Inspiration, I'm busy, so please message me on WhatsApp so that I will pick up your number, and I will also share Madam Tolu contact, because you need that support. You need that, and even she might also be of help. Speaking to your child to have that more confidence. We need community to build our kids' confidence and let them be proud of their heritage and culture. Thank you very much. Oh, top man, Daniel, Demi, have you got anything to say before I call Sugar to add a point? Top man, Demi, Sugar, we want to round up now.
Yes, I just want to make a few points about what Black said. Black said that some teachers don't just pick on the children in school. And before I had my son, I worked as a nursery assistant in a nursery, and I saw a lot of things that my mouth can't even say, and I noticed that not in all nurseries, but in some nurseries, especially the one I walked around Southeast, we had this this boy, and my colleague, she's the other color. What she would do when the boy comes to school in the morning, she would be checking his body, if he has any mark on his body, and she would be asking him a lot of questions every time. And I wasn't really comfortable with it because I'm also a parent, you understand? I'm just wondering if it's my son. She will be asking him, oh, did mommy scream at you this morning? Oh, did mommy do this? Did mommy do that? And at the time, I got angry with her. I told her that, why are you always picking on him? Why are you always asking him those questions? It's not good. I don't like it. And she was like, she's just doing her job. I said, that's not your job. Your job is to take care of the child. The child don't have any safeguarding concerns. So why are you asking him these questions? And she was like, that I told her that, can you just stop doing that? Literally, you're picking on him and it's not right. Because another reason why I felt that she was picking on the boy was because when the boy comes, sometimes his shirt is rumpled, and sometimes his hair is not so tidy. And there's another thing I want to also encourage parents is that when you're bringing your child to school, make sure your children's clothes are neat. Make sure they look nice and presentable, because the truth is that when your children look a bit rough, they most times, I'm not saying every time, but in most cases, they tend to pick on them. They tend to start putting more eyes on your children. Like, they tend to start, picking on that child, and it's very, very important, because I just noticed that she usually do that with children that, like children that don't dress so nice, children that are not so, like, you know what I mean, like there's a way you dress your child, they'll be like, there's something, and sometimes the boy comes to school with rumpled clothes, and sometimes clothes are really stained, and the mom doesn't really bring extra clothes for the boy, and sometimes the mom will give excuses that she forgot to bring this and that. I mean, I know that as mothers, we're doing everything to take care of our child and everything, but let us also try to make our children presentable so that they don't easily get picked on. And the truth is that as long as we're black, the truth is that there's a possibility that eyes are on your kids. There's a possibility. That's why we need to talk to our children regularly. We need to encourage them. We need to talk to them. We need to make them to be confident, because sometimes when a child is also very, very always scared, the teacher will be asking them, why are you always shivering? Why are you always scared? Is mommy screaming at you at home? Is mommy doing what you don't like? So I just think it's we need to make our kids look presentable. Let them just look presentable, their hair nice, their clothes clean, and not rumpled and everything, so that our children don't become a tool of, they don't become a target. That's just what I think, because even for the fact that they will say, that teachers are not supposed to, some teachers don't pick on the black children, but me, personally, as someone I've worked in different nurseries, I see that when your child is black, there's a possibility that eyes are on your children. There's this possibility that eyes on your children. That's why you just need to do everything you can to just make sure that at least the eyes is a bit will I say, like, so that they wouldn't really have anything they can use to pick on the child. Because I just noticed that, she does that with only black children. She does that with only children that don't look too good, like maybe their clothes are not so nice. So that's the kind of children she does that with. She doesn't do it with all the children, and she would be like, she's just being careful, she's just safeguarding. Because I remember when we used to do safeguarding courses, they'll ask us some kind of questions. They would say, they'll ask us some kind of tricky questions, and you as a mom, you'd be like, hey, Jesus Christ. Because you're putting yourself, in the shoe of another mom, because we were Africans, and they would say, you need to be, because we didn't. Yes, we need to change our mentality about, trying to pet the children and everything. At the same time, we wouldn't want to like spoil the children, so we're trying to create a balance. But I just think that we need to also learn, we need to also blend in the way they do things. Yeah, like me, in my house, I don't used to say beats. I don't say beats in my house. It's prohibited. but before, what we learned growing up, we learned, if I beat you, But here you don't need to use that word here, because these children can go when the teachers ask them, "Did mommy beat you?" When the children hear that beat, it rings a bell in their head, and they'll be like, "Yes, mommy beat me." And the minute the child open their mouth and say that, it's their word against yours. Like literally, what the child says is what they take more than what you say. So we just need to be careful. We just need to pay more attention to our children, and try to buy things for our children, so that our children don't go to school and be begging, begging kids. Because another thing again is that when a child is always begging another child in school, the teachers will be, are you eating well at home? Does mommy give you snacks? We just need to also provide for our children and make sure that our children, don't really lack the vital things that they need, so that when they go out, they people would not see anything they can use against our kids. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's just what I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, take it.
Can I make a quick response to what Sugar said, if that's okay?
That's all right, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I think, Sugar, basically what I was saying is for us not to walk in blindly, for us to think that, everybody is out there welcoming every Black person. It's definitely not the case. Even those of us who claim to be working in these fields, we face our own challenges, including those who are even in education. Those of us who are pushing to go through education. Some of the lecturers don't even understand why we even write so good English. Some of the lecturers do not understand why we should be excelling in some of the exams that they give us, and they have their own suspicion that sometimes it's somebody writing your essay for you. So in terms of the reality, all that we have to bear in mind is this is not our land. There are people out there who already judge us. And I think I'm really happy with what you added further to say that the way you dress your child, making sure that they are properly fed, making sure that they don't stand out as that child who is struggling at home, making sure that that child is confident in whatever it is. If people are talking about Sunday dinner, we don't do Sunday dinner. We eat eba, we eat egusi. We don't want to raise children who are totally confused. And let's ask ourselves, even those of us who call ourselves adults, who are able to speak for ourselves, look at the pressure that we go through. How much more our children who may have been brought from back home, going to sit in a class with some of these children who are possibly speaking English as the only language. Our children are now trying to understand their accent. Let's put ourselves in their situation, where we even struggle to understand our line managers. Okay? So it's a matter of building that relationship with our children so that our children don't stand out to be looking at that needy. So if they are going on trips and you can't, make sure that child goes on it as well. If the child needs to be at school at 8:30, we are not the only people working shifts. Let's make sure that we don't allow that child to be seen as, oh yeah, mom is always going to bring them late. If there is parent evening, let's make sure that we go. We are there. We show the school that even in let me use the word poverty, we are proud. These children are so catered for. They are so catered for. If it is cocoa butter, let's put it in their bags and let the teachers know this is what we put on our child's skin. Instead of they are using some kind of a funny cream. They don't know cocoa butter. They may not know cocoa butter. They may not know shea butter. But the more we make them understand that this is what the child eats, this is what the child is used to, they would accept it. So I'm not by any means going out blind to say that everybody out there, because they are a professional, they are definitely signing up to a good ethical, not looking to do things contrary to their values. All that I am saying is we also need to do our bits so that we don't overly expose. People tell me when I go on the phone, I can speak to some understand the English that you are speaking, and somebody, that is the reality. I won't get mad. A young person can say to me, Nana, I don't understand you when you speak. So be it. That is their choice. I cannot make them change their biases against me. All that I need to do is to make sure that I look after myself. And it is the same thing that we need to do for our children. So if we are overly exposing our children, they are going for sleepovers, if they are going for parties, and we think that, oh, my child has only got white friends, my child has only, is the only one who got invited to these parties. My people, please, if it is Pele is the word, I'm begging us, let's start bringing our children up as wherever we are. Inner pride. They know that this is their home. This is where we want to look after them, and not to use social services as a threat. Oh, if you misbehave, they will come and take you away. No, you are not teaching the child. Let's encourage them that this is our home, and this is where we are bringing you all up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nana, Yo, please send a request and come up.
I would like to say something in addition to that. Save the woman, if I'm allowed.
Take a mic, Mama. Take a mic.
Yeah, I just want to buttress what Sugar and Black, I can't really read the name, but what that sir said. And I want us to remove racism. I want us to look at human biases. Where I used to work in Nigeria, it's in the bank. They taught us to dress well, making up, looking presentable. And there's one thing I realize. People who, I'm not saying it's bad to be religious, but you know, the kind of the SU we have in Nigeria, there's a kind of bias towards them. They may be the nicest people, but as soon as people walk into the bank, they want to see that beautiful lady with nice hair done, lipstick on. They'll be the one they're talking to most of the time. And it is the same here. Growing up, our parents, majority of our parents believe that young girls should not properly do some stuff because it's like overly exposing them. Like we were not brought up with using perfumes when we were in secondary school, making nice hair, and it is still what is happening with some African, majorly Nigerian parents. And as women, as adult women, we may not care about our look, but I want you to know, because you are older now, those things are superficial to you. And even though they are superficial to you, you got to a stage before you could understand that they are superficial. It is very important for young people. If you've got a daughter, please book an appointment with proper hairdresser for them. Please don't make them eat their hair because you are trying to manage a hair that you yourself don't even understand from Africa. You have to put relaxer on it to manage it. Book a proper appointment. Let them see a normal hairdresser that will do a nice hair for them. And if you put their hair in nice braid, when they go to school, it boosts their confidence. Get a nice perfume for those children. Put it on them. Let them have a particular smell. Every time you get their jumper, you can't find their jumper in the midst of, or if you pick it up and you smell it, you know the smell of your child. Let their hair be done. Teach them. After a while, they need oil on it. Get a good moisturizer. Aveeno is there, Dove is there. They are not expensive. This is a cold country. If you don't moisturize your kid, they look ashy. Even though they've had a shower, most of the kids in school did not have a shower, but eyes will be on their skin that is ashy. Let us moisturize them, teach them how to take care of themselves properly. And while we are teaching them, let us supervise them. A well-dressed child, well looked after, neatly dressed, care properly, you have confidence, honestly. Even as an adult, when I go to work with my hair done, even though it is braided, they are all like, oh my God, we love your hair, it's nice. And they ask me, how long did I spend this amount of time? Oh, it is worth it. Dressing well boosts confidence. It takes away biases away from you, and it improves the confidence of your child. Many a times they are looked down upon because it doesn't have to be expensive. It does not. But getting the right professional to do, if you know you are not good in hair making, don't use your child's hair, especially a child that is a little bit older, about 9, 10, that they are conscious of themselves. Don't use their hair as experiment, please. If you put your hair on low cut, you are a grown-up woman, you are married, your husband is the only one looking at you. So you may not care about how you look. For your daughter, please. This is a country where white is seen as standard beauty. It is just of recent that black, we are now having black models. So please, let us look after our children and make them neat. Put perfume on them. They are not too young to use perfume. We have people, when I was growing up, many of us had underarm issue because they were not brought up with roll-on. And it is not because they are poor, but they believe that you need to get to a certain age to be doing that. I remember our parents would be telling them, let me translate, you are beginning to act too posh for your age. You are too young to be doing all this. And it's still happening. Some people believe that, buy nice perfume for your own, they're too young, whereas over the exposing it. And they're competing with children who go and have nails
Let her finish. Let her finish, Nana. 1 minute. Let me finish.
I'm not saying you should don't get me wrong. I'm only saying make them presentable in their skin color, that they will look nice and be confident. They're competing with kids who are at age 12 going to salon to have their nails done, have a lot of things done. And even though they are not as intelligent as our kids, they will be parading themselves as the most beautiful, whereas our children are naturally beautiful. Thank you.
Nana, Etisei.
Good evening.
Good evening. Take your mic. Passion, Namiado. Let me blow a trumpet for you. First timer.
Thank you very much, sir. I was listening to your destiny and a lady came on. But I'll ask Madam a question about the perfume. What age are you talking about? Are you talking about pupil or secondary children?
Children are in primary, but they are not young. They are between age 9 and 10.
Yeah, I can advise you. They don't do that. You are from Nigeria. But I think the other gentleman is from Ghana. In Ghana, we don't do that. In UK, we don't do that. In Sweden, we don't do that. They are children. They don't encourage that, and they want them to live normal. You started nicely. You bring up a child, you let him look nice by bathing a teenager. Even teenagers from 10 years, they start becoming adolescent. They start having smell. So like what you say, you keep them clean. They don't encourage perfume because somebody will be rich having the wrong strong perfume and all those things. So that's why the children come to school and it's normal. I want to denote some notion that some people were saying here. Look, I know there is racism, but it started when you are in the bank. They tell you, people ignore. That is the mentality we should have. The world, nobody will like anybody, even if you are blacks. Like my gentleman that I know is from Ghana. Even if you are black from Ghana, we look upon each other.
Make sure you share that money with us. So share that money with us. So yeah, that a lot money. Share with us. So. Hujua, how are you doing, Mama? Thank you for all your support. If anybody wants to contribute, please come up. We are about to round up, and we look forward to see you on Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time.
Please come up. We are about to round up.
Blessing, why did you carry a Enter? We'll drop you and bring you back. Prayer warrior, that carry a Enter. Miss B, have I heard your voice today? I'm missing your voice already, Lou.
I was here earlier.
But I'm missing.
It's me and Nigeria. Nigeria will be great that got into it.
Remember how long I've missed your voice now. You know I can't stay. You are my what did I call it though? The heartbeat. It seems you want to let it stop breathing. Eh?
How now? It's not possible. Thunder fire that one that wants to stop our heartbeat too.
So make heartbeat no stop. So all these cases can make somebody go S-wire. But because of you guys around, you are giving that strength, that support. It makes it to continue going. If not, I forgive up. Oh. If not because of you people.
Save the woman. The first thing I say to parents, when social worker comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time, I beg, ask them for subject access requests where you want to send it. Don't shout. You don't need to shout because people are making it look like social services are computer. They're not computer. They're human beings. It's blood and that's. I'm going to say this here. I didn't appreciate how Nigeria will be better how he spoke because that is just instilling fear. So there's no issue. Okay, a referral has been done. You've done assessment. There is no issue. But you are choosing to escalate. That means these people are going to be in your life for a year. For one, I know one parent now who is at it with them. They keep threatening that they want to come and see her during work hours. They want to do this with her. She said, but I'm at work. She said they said that she wanted to go to her workplace and tell her employer that she should give her time because she's going to have a meeting with them. She said, if you do that, I'll send it to court. So I'll send it to court. People, don't be scared of sending these people to courts. Don't be scared. It's a department that every department has a boss. Every boss has somebody they answer to. If their department is not working, everybody has an ombudsman. Go to them. If you've spoken to your manager and the manager is not listening and you've spoken to the person above and you're still not getting help, take it externally. There's social services have ombudsman. Everybody has somebody they have to report to. Put cameras in your house. You cannot stop me from recording a conversation in my house. You can't. Put camera. When they're coming to have meeting with you, direct them to the room where there's a camera. Press record. Keep quiet. What is it that they want to come out and frustrate somebody over? Okay, cool. Parent classes, you've done it. Everything they've asked, you've done it. But they're still on your bumper. What's happening? Parents, if you know how parents are struggling, somebody said this thing that one is referring parents for safeguarding. And I said to them, when you're doing a safeguarding or even social services that are escalating issues, you must speak to the parents and let them know this is what you're going to do.
Who mute you? Or you mute yourself, Miss B? Miss B.
My finger. Now my finger mutes me out.
Okay.
Like I was saying, you have conversations with. Don't be scared of them. Don't let them intimidate you because they call you at 1 that you need to be at school at 3. For what? Even them, they don't do things. They've squeezed things. They've shuffled things around to be able to go for that meeting. You can gracefully decline. You don't have to shout at anybody. And me too. I need to organize myself. I didn't say you're going to. Hold on. You didn't hear what I said. You're recording for your evidence. You're recording for your evidence. If somebody comes to your house and you have a camera, you can put it by your door. CCTV. People that have Ring doorbell, do they need consent? But it's being used in court as evidence. What are we talking about?
Miss, can I say something? Can I say something? I think what Miss is saying, maybe you miss your tone if you have come down. If somebody comes to your house, you have the right to report the person because he came into your privacy.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm just supporting you. You see the thing? We are all learning. I said because of your tone, that's why the woman said that. So I was just bringing it down. Okay, continue.
No, go on.
Sorry, I was here and then I had a call.
That's okay.
Yeah, back to what I'm saying. So we need to take care of our children. I'm a lawyer. Listen, the law, first of all, is you, the parents, your consent to the children. Social worker comes in when there's safeguarding, like the woman said. But we need to be, you don't have, your child doesn't have to go to school and the teacher asks your child, were you beaten? Does he see any mark? Children, this is a leading question. When you beat a child without confidence, who wants favor from the teacher, will say, oh, yes, I'm beaten. He doesn't even understand the word beating. You see? So parents, you need to be very fair. The woman was saying, and Dami, when he was saying, you need to be very fair. You need to bring up your children in a way that, as a parent, when you send your children to school, you know this is a mother and a father. You see, there are some positive of social services. If you know the way, you can let social work service. If social work service take your child, you still have the right over the child. Like the woman said, if you go to court, you can have 50% decision. The social welfare has 50% decision. As a social service to take your child to a private school, and they said no, they have to take him to prove. They need to prove to you that they don't have the money to pay for that school. But why would a social service come in? That means our children themselves, they are naughty. It's not the parents. I'll reveal a bit of you. I was a teacher in Gothenburg for 12 years, from primary to secondary. I sat on board where they review all those things. I was then young. I'm African. I sometimes put myself in their shoes. Why will a parent? Why will my parent come to a school and they'll put them in that situation? So first, when we are bringing up our children, the woman said they are baffled. We give them the confidence. But if they don't have that, any leading question, they'll be in trouble. You think a parent, a real parent, you can ask his child, did your mother beat you? What the mother will come and do you? There is law, and the law says parents are the first point of contact of their children. The government comes in because children are abused. But if you know your child is not being abused, please, if you think you are poor, let them take care. You go to court, you seek also parental control with them. You tell them, send my child to the private school. Only your child has to be intelligent, like Moses. We all saw what Moses' parents did. They put them in the river. They took care. They want to take care. If they can't take care, then they should give back your child to you. You see, like the woman is saying, and we need to be calm the way we behave. I don't think my child will have problems. My children are not better. But I don't think those services will come for them. You see, so it's good platform, Mr. Man. I was listening to it, but I will tell you the truth. The parents, you don't worry, like the woman is saying, maybe out of her voice, but just do the same thing. If you think you are right, you go to court. But if, Mr. Host, you have been hosting this program, then you can help parents. You can form an NGO, and the government will give you money to support, like what you are doing here. And then you get some, well, I can volunteer sometime, one day or two, and then we can give advice. But this is a hard fight. You see, but social service don't have the right to come to the school and ask your child to your mom beat you. If you ask a 6 years old, 7 years old child who lacks a little bit of, maybe he doesn't understand the word beating. Like a lady said here, in Africa we say beat. It's true. Somebody can say, I'll beat you. That's how we say in Ghana, I'll beat you. It doesn't mean the parent will beat you and then whip you and kill you. No. You see, so language is also a factor. If you think you understand the English, say, that's my language. It doesn't mean I'll beat my child. You see, and the judge will walk you free. Because you people are talking about, the man was saying accent. If somebody don't understand your accent, let him go. Your president from Nigeria, when he's speaking, the Europeans, they listen because Nigeria will bring them oil. They don't go and say, oh, we don't understand your accent. And I think we are better. We all have better accent than our Nigerian president. So that means it's poverty. People look at the people. The woman said from the bank, we need to keep a standard and then we look. But I think, Mr. Host, you are doing well. And if you are going challenges, I think you can do something and people can come there and help them, as the woman is saying. Thank you very much. I will drop down.
Trouble Hope, I'm going to say this again. If you have a camera in your house, yeah, you can put a sign at the front door. You don't have to tell anybody. If they missed it, it's their problem. Just the same way if you come to my house and I have a pet, it is you to be uncomfortable, not me. same rule. So it's not my responsibility to be looking out for if there's camera in the house or not. It's your responsibility. You're the one that's coming to my territory. You're the one that's coming to my sanctuary. So it's you that needs to be uncomfortable, not me being uncomfortable in my own house. So my people, let's stop getting scared of these people. If they come and they say, interpret it the way you want, but what I'm saying is, let's not be scared of them.
All right, ma.
Wait, let me.
Oh, sorry. Someone is asking, do we need it? Has that been answered?
When you put CCTVs, I would say that one is outside. But if you have a camera in your house, you don't need a license. You don't need. If you have a recording camera or live camera in your house, you don't need a license.
I think we have all done well today. Oh. Thank you very much, everybody that contributed. We really appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to follow, don't forget to go and subscribe on YouTube channel. You can also subscribe here. Let's be part of the family. Is that Blessing? Did you want to say anything before we go, or you want to close us with prayer? Same as Yayad.
Yeah, so basically all I can say is just to thank every professional that keep coming on to this platform, irrespective of their professional thingy. They keep coming on here to share insights, not just insights, valuable insights to everybody, the preferred solutions, and irrespective of their professional standards, they just come here, they say a lot of things, and we cannot just thank you enough. We do not take all of these things for granted. Thank you, everybody. And like I would also say, see, these things sometimes they are inevitable. So as everyone has advised, let us take courses. Save the Woman offers parental courses that we can enroll on these courses. We need to unlearn and learn again. Let us learn how to take care of our children, how to upgrade to the UK standard of parenting. So this is where you need to come on board to take all of these courses so that you'd not be found wanting. And another thing is we also need to support this community. This community is a community that supports a lot of people, without taking a dime from them. So the only thing we just need to do is, support the community. We have a YouTube page. Go on the YouTube page, subscribe. On the TikTok page, please follow. If you have any information, send it to the email, and just support this community. And please do not always forget to stop by. Every information and every insight you give to everybody on this platform, a lot of people are just background listeners, but they gain a lot, they learn a lot. Some people are unable to share their situations online. They go behind the scene to share all of this situation. So please, let's take these courses. Exactly, Joy Lee, you need to take the course. Let's take these courses. Let's learn, and we will not be found wanting. We will not be in any situation that is going to put us in trouble. So let's just keep following this community, keep supporting this community if you can. It is a free community. We do not take money from anybody. However, if you feel you want to support the community, please reach out to Save the Human and support us. Thank you so much, and thank you, everybody. God bless you.
So we call it a day for tonight. Thank you very much, every one of you. The host is tired. Need to go. And thank you for all of you. And those of you that you were cooking while we are doing this program, please drop a message, DM, so that we can send our postcode. You cannot be using us for cooking. At the end of the day, you eat alone. It's not good. It's not good. If you cook while we are doing this program, you need to comment. Let us know how many of you are cooking while we are doing this program. So once again, thank you for joining. We say bye for now. Oh, double. Miss B, God bless. Did we have anybody that wants to?
God bless you.
Did you have anybody that wants to say something in the box? I think somebody, Shamsi, did you enter to say something? Sorry, Lo. We didn't give you mic. Shamsi? Okay, has gone down.